Hello, everybody, and welcome to Heads Must Roll, a D&D actual play podcast set in a world of tyranny, corruption, revenge, and vigilante justice. Each of our heroes has had a life-altering brush with corruption in their past. Because of their troubled pasts, our heroes were approached by a stranger who invited them to join an underground secret society of vigilante outcasts. The goal of the secret society is to expose and disrupt tyranny and corruption in the government. These are their adventures. That's my narrator voice.
Beautiful.
Cool. Thanks so much. So this is our second episode. We have some familiar faces and some new faces here. So we're going to go ahead and introduce our new players and characters, starting with Erin.
Hey, my name's Erin. My fake name, my character I'll be playing is Dalana Greydark. She is a half-elf, 21 years old. She is from the kingdom of Nazmia originally. She has been sent over to Havathax. She was sent over when she was 16 years old with her 14-year-old nephew to do an internship in the city of Garum Torum with the Convocation of Equity. Should I explain what that is? I kind of forgot.
Convocation of Equity is basically just the judicial branch of the federal government of Havathax.
Yeah, so basically she was sent over by her family, who's sort of royalty of Nazmia. She was sent over with her cousin to do this quote-unquote internship, which has subsequently turned out to not be such an internship, more as like sort of like a sex cult or, sex trafficking kind of ring.
Gross.
But she escaped a year ago and has been sort of stealing, making do on her own in the past year, kind of getting what she needs from people without relying on anyone else. And so she is on the run from the Convocation of Equity, are likely looking for her. So she's, kind of has to stay under the radar. I don't know, I think that's it. Should I just say anything else?
Sounds good to me.
Oh, what class are you?
Good.
Oh, yeah, you're...
I'm a rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's a rogue.
She's a rogue who escaped from sex slavery from the Convocation of Equity.
Yes.
Epstein Island.
Pretty intense stuff.
Epsteinish. Yeah. All right. Get a good swig in, and then let us know about Daniel.
So my name is Devin. I am playing the character Daniel Sanwei. Daniel Sanwei is a level 1 monk. He grew up on the streets of the beach city known as Las Ongeles, and there he lived on the streets as a punk and worried his single mother sick. He frequented the markets, stealing stuff, which, I mean, they called the mall. I don't know. It was just a local thing. And then he also gambled and swindled at the games hall, which they called the arcade. He was taken under the wing of Sensei Sanwei, who he got the last name from, after the untimely demise of his master at the hands of his government reign handlers back in the day that he was hiding from or whatever. That is Daniel Sanwei, and he loves long walks on the beach and pina coladas in the rain.
Ooh, he's a little too young for a pina colada, isn't he?
He is. He's kind of young. I forgot to say, he is a young man. I don't have an age written down. I just have a young man.
And he's a monk.
He is. Yes, he is a monk under the tutelage of Master Sanwei, Sensei Sanwei.
Gotcha.
That he learned the art of gardening, painting, and martial arts. So he got the whole 9.
Well-rounded education. So those are our 2 new adventurers who are part of the secret society as well. And then we've got the returning faces, myself, Ingus the clown, a halfling aspiring clown with anger issues, and we have Sam's character Eli, who's coming back. What would be like a 1-sentence summation of Eli?
So Eli will be back playing his Hexblade self, trying to find meaning in a world after revenge and possibly romance.
Yes.
Maybe.
Cool.
Maybe.
And so Sam and Eli were part of the debacle that was the adventure gone awry from last episode, and we are here. We just spent the night at the Full Mast Tavern. All right, so now that we're all caught up and we've met our new folks, we'll hand it over to our DM, Eric.
All right. So if everybody's ready, let's begin. Where we last left our heroes, they had taken refuge for the night in the Full Mast, an inn along the docks of Lake Flaxidor. Just the night before, they were ambushed by a group of armed militiamen and taken prisoner while trying to carry out a quest they were told would allow them entry into a secret organization of vigilantes. Vigilantes devoted to rooting out corruption and tyranny wherever it was found. But after they were ambushed, they soon found themselves chained in a prisoner's wagon, but slowly found ways to break free of their bindings, and began to search for a way out of their seemingly doomed predicament. But while scheming their escape, the caravan was beset by mysterious creatures in the night that viciously murdered the guards that were surrounding them outside. Another one of the prisoners that was also bound inside the wagon alongside our heroes did not seem distraught, but rather delighted at the massacre that was occurring outside. The wagon was stopped, and the back door of the wagon was ripped open from the outside, and the mysterious red-haired stranger vanished into the dark countryside.
Damn.
Our heroes escaped, and while they gathered their personal belongings that were taken from them, they soon realized that the mutilated bodies of the newly dead guards had begun to move and attacked our survivors. A battle ensued, and the ravenous dead were destroyed. Remembering the directions that they were given for their initial quest, they entered the nearby, bustling but troubled city of Besbophis, and sought out a gnome named Grom that was to be their contact at the Full Mast Inn. After talking with Grom, they realized that something had gone horribly wrong in their quest. Everyone was given shelter for the night, but to ensure our heroes' safety, they were told that they must find a way to escape Besbophis. And so where we left off, our heroes before had taken a rest, and the next morning dawns. And everyone is woken up in their in their single bed chambers to some kind of frenzied knocking of tiny fists on the door of your bedrooms. And you can hear kind of a shrill child's voice of, wake up, knock, 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 knock. And you can hear the little feet run down the hallway a little bit and then knock on another door, wake up, and then run down as everyone's door is getting knocked upon.
I'm going to very quickly, as soon as I wake up, just really quick 5-minute touch up on my clown makeup so that no one sees the disheveled nature of the makeup I slept in last night.
The big smear.
That's gonna be a smear all over the pillows.
Sleep in your makeup? Oh.
Well, it was normally I would do the routine, wash it off, moisturize, and then but it was a stressful night last night.
Are we in a room as well, or are we?
Yes. So
okay.
you two are in a room as well. So you slept there the night before.
Hell yeah! Daniel puts on his sleeveless shirt and his denim equivalent pants to the timeline of the universe that we're in. Commoner's pants.
Why not?
Yeah, I would think so. Commoner's pants.
Fantasy denim.
Yeah.
Sackcloth.
Yeah, and his fantasy red tennis shoes. And he's like, time to wake up. And he does a thing. He leaves, I guess.
Danny, you kind of you're the first one. You walk out kind of into the hallway, and you can see there's this small child that looks about maybe 5 to 8 years old. He's only about maybe 3 feet tall, and he's knocking on the different doors. And he sees that you've woken up, and he goes, "Hey, mister, come on, breakfast is ready. We got to get everybody up."
Hell yeah! And Daniel fucking if he gets passes the kid, he kind of pushes him aside too to make more way towards breakfast.
Oh, okay. The kid's kind of disgruntled a little bit, but just kind of nervously gets out of the way as you seem pretty intent on getting to breakfast.
I mean, he's a hungry teenager, right?
Yeah, that too. Also, Daniel is a poor boy from a poor family.
All right, so is everyone else ready to get out of their rooms and go downstairs to
breakfast?
I had a
breakfast.
I had a rough night.
Yeah.
And probably didn't sleep so well, so I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna finish polishing my sword, maybe my armor, get my day ready. Yeah, I'm gonna get things straightened out. Breakfast can wait.
Sweet. Dalana, she just gets up, put some shit on and go. She looks great already. She's 21. Well, what she
Right.
Heads down. Probably, down for some free food for sure.
I'm ready for breakfast.
And so Ingus, as you kind of like go out the door, you see that this like little kid is kind of like scuttling past you, and you notice that, I mean, you're about the same height as him, and you have a lot of experience in theatrical makeup. And as he passes by, you notice that this kid seems to be wearing makeup on his face. Not like in like a flashy manner, but there's like a foundation on it.
Okay.
Oh.
So he's sort of spruced his face up.
Roll a perception.
That's an 18 plus
Woo.
Oh, that's good.
1, so 19.
So you can actually see where like the makeup line cuts off and it's glommed on. So like you can kind of see the change in skin color.
Oh.
Yeah, this kid seems to have a lot of makeup on him.
Well, I guess in my head, I see a budding performer someday.
Could be.
Or because under all of my makeup, I'm like acid burned, I can be forgiving of someone who's like hiding their true self, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but are they hiding like injuries?
Well, I'm definitely like documenting this. It's in my head, but I'm not gonna like judge this person just yet.
This kid kind of goes back and there's that one door that hasn't opened yet. So that's gonna be Eli's door. The kid just keeps like knocking. Goes, it's time for breakfast. As the other three of you kind of head downstairs and see that breakfast is kind of laid out on one table. And you can see it's kind of like this big kind of bowl of soup in the middle with all these kind of bowls around the table that's set for everybody.
Breakfast soup.
I guess I'll make my way down.
And so Eli, as you open the door, the kid kind of looks at you like a little bit mad. He goes, it's time for breakfast. And he kind of like points down the hallway.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Breakfast is taken seriously around here, brother.
Fiona made breakfast for everyone.
Sounds delightful. Lead the way.
He kind of looks at you, gives you an eye, and then kind of walks in front of you and walks you down the stairs. And so again, there's just like one table that's set. You can't see Grom anywhere. And then also, as you guys kind of like headed down the hallway of where all the bedrooms were, you notice that there were two other open doors. So for both Eli and Ingus, you notice that both Riven and Deck are not there, and their bedroom doors were open before you were awakened. But you guys, all four of you, are now kind of like sitting around, helping yourself to some soup. If you'd like to. It smells good, but as you kind of like stir it around in the pot, you realize that it's basically a soup made out of whatever was left in the larder. So it's got like potatoes, some bits of fish. There's a couple like eggs that were just kind of thrown in there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, if somebody wanted a copper piece for a bowl of this, that would be greatly overcharging. That would be way too much. So this is like sailor slop.
Daniel loves it.
It'll keep you alive, but not much else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's digging it.
Well, I'm gonna perform as if I enjoy the soup. You putting my performer face on.
Yeah, performance check to not grimace at the taste.
Throw up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's food.
My character will go ahead and turn to Angus. Do you remember we got here with two friends, right? Riven, Deck.
Yeah.
You know where they went?
No. Are they sleeping in? Are they like?
No, I think their door's open. How did you sleep?
I slept poorly.
Oh, good. I thought it was just me.
I tossed and turned quite a bit, mostly because like Grom made it seem as if we were in some sort of mortal danger the longer we stayed here.
But we just left mortal danger to get here, right?
Right.
That's what I remember. Zombies and...
So we are just in a constant state of anxiety, you know what I mean? Yeah.
How's the soup?
It's
great.
Palatable.
Daniel fucking...
But yeah, the fact that the people we got here with are not here is very concerning. We should probably address that somehow.
Yeah, I wonder if they skipped town already.
Riven did seem weak, you know? Seemed a little...
He was in a hurry. He was ready to go.
Very thin-skinned about stuff.
Flighty.
But yeah, we should find... Are there other... So I'm going to look around the table and just try to see everybody else who stayed here last night.
Yep, so it's just you four. And then kind of the small child is kind of like waiting off to the side, and he's kind of just like watching everybody eat.
He's looking for leftovers.
Yeah.
Kid, do you have a name?
The kid kind of looks over, he goes, Alan, sir.
Alan. Is Grom around here?
Grom had to leave. So the other two that came in with you last night, so he had to get them out of the city, but he put them into a big cart of potatoes.
Nice.
So they're in more danger than us.
Grom said he didn't want everybody to go in like one big group, just in case one group got caught.
Meaning a group could get caught. That's
well,
good for us to
fingers
know, I guess.
crossed they're not dead then. Hopefully we all make it to where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look across the table at these other two fresh faces and just be like, "Hey, how's it going? What brings you to the tavern?"
I don't know. Like, I'm not quite sure, but I'm here. Here I am. Eating some free soup.
It's
My name's
great.
Dalana.
As he's got 3 empty bowls stacked next to him for Daniel, and he's already working on his 4th.
I'll probably just save mine for that little kid, He looks hungry. I'll probably just stop eating now. I eat like a half a bowl of soup.
I mean, I'll take it if you don't want it.
No, that's cool. I'm just gonna sit here. Maybe I'll eat it more later. But
I take a big spoonful of soup, but it has a giant chunk of eggshell in it, and
Nice.
I try to smile as I gulp the jagged eggshell down.
The crunch is my favorite.
It's crunchy.
Yeah, I was not expecting breakfast, so this is above expectations.
I'll try to drink from the bowl with a little swagger and realize that chunk of potato was a little bit large. And a lot crunchier than
It was
should
just
be.
an entire potato. It's just at the moment.
Had a root growing out of it and everything. I have a question real quick before we zoom through. Did our little note that we got that said, hey, you're a part of the super secret Power Ranger squad, did that say anything about, keep it secret, keep it safe? You can't tell people about this thing?
Well, you're not technically in yet.
The thing just said to show up to this place, is what Daniel
Yep.
knows so far.
Yeah, so
like an
you'd be
open
given
interview. Okay.
Yeah, so you'd be given a chance to join the society, but you need to go here for further directions.
Okay. Then when Angus brings up that question of what are you doing here, and directing it to the table, Daniel says, oh, I got this cool letter that said I gotta show up to this hotel. And now I'm here.
Can I see the letter?
Sure. And Daniel hands over the letter.
And then I look the letter over, and then I kind of lean over to Eli and be like, I think this is what we were supposed to get. So I think these guys are part of us.
Guess we can trust them for now.
I'm gonna look to the little boy and be like, could you get us some pepper?
A lot of it.
Yeah, of course. Here, just a second. And you see he runs behind the bar, and he comes back, and he's just got this big kind of can of pepper.
Okay, thank you. Could
You're
you
welcome, sir.
run up to my bedroom and see if I have any socks?
Can you go away
Can you?
so I can talk in secret, please? That'd be splendid.
So he kind of looks at you. You see his eyes narrow a little bit. Yes, sir. And he starts slowly walking towards the steps and slowly walks up the steps.
Okay, and then
he has worked the service industry. He knows how to take a hint.
this kid works really fast, so I'm gonna lean in real quick and be like, okay,
And honestly,
I think you guys and I are all on the same page here. We got a little bit sidetracked, but we are supposed to be testing ourselves for this secret society. Sounds like you guys are the same.
sure.
That's-
Sounds about right.
The gist I got.
Yeah.
Don't you think that was a little forward, Angus?
Well,
Okay.
I literally saw the letter that we were supposed to get.
Remember the part where we're in mortal danger, probably? Maybe?
Oh, yeah. By the way, we are all in mortal danger as a part of this. Sorry.
Welcome.
Cool.
Cool. I already am, so it's
Yeah.
That sounds fucking rad.
So after soup, we should probably
Oh, we'll skedaddle out of here, dog.
make our way to where the missing friends are.
Oh, you guys have other friends?
Totally.
Sick.
Well, I mean, we have been through a bloody battle together, but we don't know each other that well,
Whoa. Did you, punch some dudes?
I, shot a zombie's face off. It was pretty freaking awesome.
I cut a zombie's head off.
Whoa. That's sick as hell.
Try not to do too much punching.
Oh, I try to do only punching, if I can be honest. But punching a zombie, I've never done that before. That sounds rad as hell.
What's the scariest thing you've punched?
Punks?
Punch a bunch of punk-ass bitches?
Yeah, dude, those
Kinda
punks.
Scary.
They're super scary. They try to steal all the money that I don't have, and I just try to punch them away.
That's a good strategy.
It's been working so far, dude.
Yeah, you're still around, so
I got tiny
I do.
hands, really tiny hands, so...
The smaller they are, the more pressure you got behind that punch. You can almost stab through them. punk with that punch, bro.
So we need to get a hold of Grom?
Makes sense.
I've not met Grom. I don't
No.
know who this Grom is. Who's Grom?
You two would have met
Truly.
Grom like the night before.
Oh.
And so
okay.
you would have been given further directions in the morning. Yeah, so he's the known proprietor of the place. He's the owner of the place.
That's Grom, the guy.
Oh, yeah, Grom.
You know, I get.
I mean, it was
Doll
like a
on
day
the-
ago, so I don't really...
Right, yeah, I
Yeah.
get Doll on the shoulder. I'm like, you know, Grom, the guy, or whatever.
Yeah, grizzled face.
Oh, Grom the guy. Duh.
The
Yeah.
guy.
Grizzled face, average height.
Do you two know each other before this?
No.
Yeah, DM, do we know each other? We just got separate letters and we showed up?
You got separate
No.
letters, but came to the same
Okay.
place.
Is the only like employee that's here right now the boy, the small kid?
So there's the little boy, and you could kind of hear some clanging coming up from the kitchens. That's like behind, there's like an open door behind the bar. You can kind of hear some clanging every once in a while back in the kitchens.
Hmm.
So you think there's probably someone else back there. Kind of sounds like it.
Do you think the kid found your socks yet?
Oh,
Yeah, is that little boy ever going to come back? Is he...
the
took
problem
off his
is
socks?
that I am wearing the only pair of socks I have right now, so it might take
I
a
was
little
about to
while.
ask.
So yeah, that's true. Was there actually were there socks
No, I mean,
in there?
I probably didn't bring spare socks. Oh, I guess I have 3 costumes, so maybe they all have different socks. They might find socks. Might take them a while.
Okay, yeah, might be somebody else's socks. But Alan kind of comes back down. He comes running back down, and he looks over at you and he goes, "I couldn't find any socks."
Ah, you know what? I'm a fool. I'm wearing socks. I totally...
You are literally a fool.
Sometimes, my feet go numb and I forget I'm wearing socks. But thank you so much for going to look for socks.
You can see the kid's eyes kind of narrow again.
Next question real quick. Where is Grom?
I like that question.
So he goes, Grom left with the other two in the shipment of potatoes. So he wanted to see to make sure that they could get outside the city. So he told me that they're going to the same place that you are, but just in a different way.
Okay.
So you guys are going to take another way. A super secret way.
Is it like radishes?
No, it's not radishes.
Is it the Daniel San way? Get it? It's
Oh.
pretty
I
good.
hope so.
Zing.
That way's full of punches.
I don't actually know his name. What are you guys' names?
Dalana. Last name not important.
Cool. I'm Ingus.
Okay. I'm Eli.
Nice to meet you guys.
How rad. My name is Daniel Sonway. You can call me Danny,
Daniel.
though, if you really want.
Did the
Okay, Danny.
kid ever tell us what their name was?
Alan.
Child.
Right?
Yep, so the child said his name was Alan before.
Alan. So Alan, are you the one that's going to be escorting us to this new location?
He goes, yep, I know the way. Grom told me where to go.
I'm pretty eager to get going.
Whenever you're done with breakfast, follow me.
Breakfast was delicious.
Alan, did you get breakfast? Cool.
I
Great.
Fiona's a great cook.
She
Who's
sure
Fiona?
is. And Daniel slurps up the last of his bowl and fucking puts it with the pile of the rest.
So Alan goes, Fiona's another one of the kids that works here with me.
Yeah.
So she was a kid that lived out on the street like I did before Grom took us in. So she usually works the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
She can't talk.
I'm going to toss down
Can't
four
talk.
copper pieces for them to share.
Shit, what was her name?
I'll chip in some coin too.
So her name was Fiona.
Fiona, the mute girl.
Well, you all work very hard, and we very much appreciate the edible soup.
It's totally edible.
You can see the kid smirks a little bit when you thank him for the delicious soup. And he goes, whenever you're ready, follow me.
Let's go.
Yeah. We go.
Do we have a general sense of what time of day this is?
Early morning.
Very early still? Okay.
Yeah, so the curtains are drawn and the door is locked. So you can see that there's like a bar over the inside of the door, so it is not open for breakfast.
This is not a Denny's.
Yep.
Do we hear any sounds from the street? Are other people up, or is this...
You can hear some rustling around, but it's still pretty early morning. So I mean, if you listen closely, you can kind of hear some carts going around outside and some people talking, but nobody's really right outside the door.
Guess this is as good time as any.
So, Alan, what is the official plan to get us where we're going?
He goes, let me show you. Come on. And you can see he kind of scuttles behind the bar, which is obviously just as tall. I mean, it's taller than he is. So he goes behind the bar. He goes, come on. He sticks his little fingers in between a couple of the boards in the floor behind the bar, and he kind of lifts it up and pushes it open. And you can see there's this little kind of trap door with a little kind of ladder that goes down. And he kind of motions back to everyone else. He goes, come on, we gotta go down here. And he climbs down the ladder.
Tubular.
I'll go ahead and follow him.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll follow as well.
Got nowhere else to go. I follow.
You follow Alan down, and you can see that you're in kind of like what looks kind of like this larder, or kind of like a holding place for some of like the foods and different kind of like a storeroom for the inn. So it's kind of like this stone-floored, stone-walled basement. You can see kind of in the corner there's like some sacks of flour. In another corner there's some like sausages hanging up. In another corner there's like a bunch of like barrels of ale and like wine, flasks of wine on a shelf. And then also kind of next to one of the barrels of ale there's this like 2 foot tall like golden statue of what looks kind of like either like an elven or like a half elven woman holding a staff in one hand, and then like another and then her right hand is like held out, palm up.
As soon as I see those barrels, I'm going to throw myself against the opposite wall and just like cling to it. Be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I'm going to try and not telegraph how panicked I am.
Even though you've thrown yourself
you're
against the
going
opposite
yourself.
wall.
That might be hard to.
I'm going to throw myself against the wall,
check.
but like smack a smile on my face to make it seem like I'm doing this as a joke, but like every inch of my body is trembling right now. He's terrified of barrels. Should I do a performance check?
Yeah.
You can, to see if you fool everyone, or else they'll be able to tell that you are terrified. They won't know it's from the barrels, but something.
13 plus 5, so 18.
Yeah. So you're up against the wall, but I don't think anyone's really sure why.
Yeah. You're weird.
Yeah, I don't know how you want to play that up. I don't know how you play up like going up against a wall. Because you're like right up against the wall by where like the ladder is, like right at the entrance, because that's opposite of where the barrels are.
I'm gonna do a pantomime routine as if I am like trying to like be like a sneaky detective or something.
Okay.
I love it. I'm on board. I look at Eli. Yeah, Daniel looks at Eli and goes, "Your friend's weird."
Is this what clowning is these days?
I'm not really sure what he's saying. What is he pantomiming here?
I don't really understand the art here.
It's a very vague concept that I'm pantomiming right now.
Is it 2 words or 3 words?
Yeah, can we play charades here for a second?
That's...
I'm just going to like graciously allude back to Alan so that the attention comes off of me.
Ingus, you kind of motion over to Alan. You can see like he goes over and he stands kind of like by the barrels of ale, and he kind of looks over at everybody, and he goes in a much different voice, goes, "All right, let's get serious. Grom said I could trust all of you. We're going to," he goes, "so you 4 are going to take some old passageways, but we haven't used them in a while. They'll lead you out of the city, all right? So here, you guys want to help me move some of these barrels? We'll get out of the way. I'll show you how to get through."
I will provide entertainment.
I'm not very strong, but I'll help. I'll be here for emotional support at least.
All right, here, help me move these things out of the way.
How about I juggle to make this a light moment for everybody? I'm just going to pull out juggling balls and just start
bardic
going.
inspiration.
Are you going to burn the bardic inspiration to cover up?
I'm going to start juggling for everybody.
What do you have? Do you have like some colorful balls to juggle?
Yeah, it's in his
On your
inventory.
person?
I got my basic juggling kit, but I am
Scarves?
able to juggle whatever.
Yeah.
I could juggle oranges, I could juggle daggers, whatever you need me to juggle. But
Chainsaws.
I was gonna say the juggling kit that's in the player's handbook, right?
Yeah.
It is. It's right next to Artisan's kit, which means nothing.
That's yeah.
yeah, the default is some like bean-filled balls, like
Ugh.
yeah.
By the way, Daniel was totally down to move barrels. His strength's at a -2, so he needs that bardic inspiration.
Oh man. Okay. Well, you can just kind of like put your
Yeah.
shoulder into them and just kind of push them out
Yeah,
of the
I'm
way.
trying.
I mean, they're heavy, but I mean, Alan's kind of helping out too. And Eli, do you want to kind of help to pull some of these barrels? They're full.
Yeah, I'll definitely pitch in.
You guys are doing a great job. I'll clap.
And then okay, and then Ingus, you're juggling.
I'm going to juggle until
inspirationally.
somebody calls me out. I hope that like there's a level of delight to this that no one will ever ask me to move anything.
You're pretty small. No one's going to ask you.
Yeah,
Well, are we able to move them, or are we having trouble?
Yeah, so you're able to move them. I mean, they're heavy, but you can just kind of put your shoulder into them if you need to, and just kind of slowly kind of push them out of the way. And obviously, Alan helps out too, and he's surprisingly stronger than he looks for someone that's about 3 feet tall.
And as the barrels move, I'm going to adjust myself against the wall to continue to be as far away from them as possible.
Okay.
All right.
So you move the last barrel, so there's like 3 big barrels in the way, and what the barrels seem to be in front of is that obviously there's like, it's all stone walls, and behind the barrels you can just see there's like this silver knob sticking out of the wall. Not onto a door, but just sticking out of the wall itself.
Weird.
And Alan, he kind of like looks back at you and he goes, all right, first of all, I want to apologize to you two. And he points over to Ingus that's busy juggling. And then also with Eli, he goes, the initiations usually aren't this chaotic. We're still trying to figure out what happened, but for right now, for your own safety, we got to get you guys out of the city. So the other two of you, Grom sent out, he buried them under a bunch of potatoes, they should be able to get out. So they'll probably meet up with you later. Where you need to go is that we have a contact outside the city. His name's Emil.
Emil.
All right?
Gotta write it down.
Emil?
Emil, E-M-I-L.
I have a very not game relevant side note. Eric, when we were younger,
Do you remember?
my grandma always thought your name was Emil.
That's
For some reason.
I had to bring it in.
Eric,
I never forgot.
Eric is such a
That's
normal, ordinary name, but for some reason my grandma had it locked in her mind that his name was Emil.
Hey, there's not enough people named Emil out there.
Old people ears hear the strangest things.
I had a librarian who's used to think my name was Irwin, which is a man's name that has been used for...
Yeah, that's a fucking crocodile hunter, dude. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Irwin.
Erwin, Emil.
We are off to see Emil.
So he goes, you can meet out with Emil. He'll be outside the city. It should be safe out there. He's probably got a little bit of work for you, and he helps kind of supply the society inside the city. So he'll kind of fill you in. He's got some kind of interesting stuff he grows out there. So and he kind of describes to you where it is. So he lives kind of like in an outcropping of trees. Alan says he lives at the base of a really, really big pine tree. He's kind of a naturey guy. He'll set you up, and then we'll let you know when it's safe to come back in the city. But we have to figure out what went wrong first.
Mm-hmm.
This hasn't happened before. We usually try to keep things pretty secretive around here, but we think there's a mole in the system, and we gotta find out. And Alan goes, I apologize for this. It's usually a lot more straightforward than this.
Cool.
For you guys, pretty straightforward. For us, zombies and prison carriages and...
I mean, it wasn't the worst night of my life. It just wasn't one of the better ones.
I would happily relive that rather than be in this room of barrels right now.
As you're like fucking standing off against all
Like
these barrels.
stealthing
That's a good hint that we should probably get going. But wait, how are we gonna know who Emil is?
He goes, so where I'm sending you guys is some old smuggling caves that we use to get things in and out of the city. Now, we haven't used them for about 15 or 20 years or so, so I'm not sure what's down there, but you should be able to find your way through relatively easily. When you get out, keep going east, and you'll eventually find an outcropping of trees with a really, really big pine tree. That's where Emil lives. You can't miss it. It's maybe twice as tall as the rest of the trees.
What kind of a pine tree is it? Is it a white pine or is it...
Is this like a spruce kind of deal?
This is a black spruce, specifically.
Oh, so it's a spruce tree, not a pine tree.
That's sick as fuck.
Well, that's a spruce. Yeah, okay.
They're
No,
two
dude,
different species.
I failed my nature check on what kind of.
Oh,
A
my.
black spruce sounds
it
badass,
is.
though, if I can be honest. That sounds bitchin'.
Yep, he lives in a big tree.
He lives in the tree.
The biggest ass tree that we can find.
Oh, I'll write ass. Biggest ass.
I hope somebody has a knowledge nature check that can actually get us a right pine tree.
The proper tree.
Just spruce trees,
I
oak trees.
suppose. Yeah. Does anyone know what kind of tree? Like, does anyone's character actually know what like a
Knowledge
pine tree
nature.
is?
I have a
or
+1
spruce
to
tree.
nature. Is that...
I have a +2.
Oh, okay, you'd
Yeah.
probably be familiar with trees.
You've seen a tree before. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Seen a tree.
That's,
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
tree, and you see them one, you see them all.
All right. So how do we get out of this horrible room? How do we get out
We
of
gotta
here?
go through some secret smuggling tunnels, dog.
Yeah, my
Okay.
character's patience is starting to wear. Like, how do we get out of here?
Okay, just a second, just hold on. And he goes and you see there's that little like silver knob that was sticking out of the wall. He takes his right hand and he just kind of grabs onto the silver knob, and he doesn't turn it. He just kind of holds it there, and he lets go, and you can see he like kind of wipes away at the wall, like just to the side of it, and the wall just kind of like in a mist. The wall just goes
Whoa.
and like disappears and opens up into kind of a room that
Pretty
has
cool.
this purplish glow to it. And again, it's like another passageway leading down.
And they're like small people-sized caverns, huh? Because Grom is the owner. Are they like smaller-sized caverns, or
So it would be about, it's enough that a tall person could fit through.
So I think most people would be intimidated by a wall opening up and like a purple light tunnel showing up, but for my character it's a huge relief, and he rushes as fast as he can right into the purple light. He doesn't care. He just gets out of the room.
Okay, and you kind of like, you dart in between like the barrels that were just kind of pushed off to the sides. And again, it's a ladder kind of like leading down into this rough, kind of like hewn stone, or like kind of like a naturally engraved cavern. And you can see that the purple light is actually from like little bits of purpley fungus that are growing on the walls and across the floor. So the bioluminescence kind of like lights up the hallway leading down.
Daniel thinks it's a race, whatever Angus is doing, and he tries to keep up.
Oh yeah, before we go, Alan, one more thing.
Yeah, and he kind of looks down at everyone that's, now in the cavern.
Can you do us a favor? I left a roll of weapons rolled up. If you get a chance, just sell it. And whatever you get for it, I guess save it for us. And if you never see us again, then good luck and share it with your friends. Yeah, that sounds good. Do that.
You guys will make it. They didn't choose you for no reason. So just remember, big pine tree, Emil, you're good.
There might be still a bit of zombie flesh stuck to a couple of those. Just wipe them off.
You actually used prestidigitation and cleaned them up for them.
Mostly, they were pretty good.
That's right.
I don't know if they're quite presentation.
Oh, that's nice to clean it at first.
And I'm pretty sure prestidigitation is just still an illusion.
Oh, right.
So like, it just looks like that for a little bit.
And then it goes back.
I think it can clean things, like a little.
Oh, really?
Because it can create tastes too, so it can like make soup taste better. It's like little. It can do like any like little weird effect.
Magical effect.
It's like one of the best spells ever.
Yeah, that's why my soup tasted okay. It was just this large chunk of potato.
If magic was used on that soup, what a waste of magic.
Yeah, that was not.
That soup was already delicious.
I'm still like choking on eggshell bits in the back of my throat.
It just gets stuck in there, dude. That
Throat's all
dog.
So if you ever hear me like,
it's a good source of calcium.
yeah,
an entire hatched chicken comes out.
Then
we know magic was used.
Yeah,
that's how you make money in Vegas.
Does he cough out a chicken?
That's a trick I'm gonna learn as a performer.
What a skill!
That will entertain.
I am very ready to descend the ladder into this hallway.
Yeah, Daniel's got his fucking fists up, dog.
Everybody descends the ladder. Eli shouts back up about the swords, and then Alan kind of gives you like a final wave, and then you see the wall kind of like slowly, like some gray mist kind of materializes, and now it just looks like another part of the cavernous wall, as if that opening to the storeroom was never there.
Okay, well, I guess you go forward.
Yep, and so you can kind of see where the path is kind of lit with kind of like that low light. So this is all like a low light situation. So for people that are, I think, humans and halflings would have a tough time seeing in this. I think, Dalana, you are one
half-elf.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So Eli, you're half-elf too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys can see pretty much fine in this. Ingus and Danny are having a little bit of trouble.
Yeah. As a character who used to have a drug addiction and is probably still struggling with it to some extent, I think I have to roll a perception check to see if these bio mushroom things have a psychedelic effect to them.
Oh, if they're edible?
Like a nature check to see if they're...
Yeah, roll. You can either like nature or like investigation to investigate, because there's different kinds of fungus growing along the walls.
But then again, I'm sober, so I'd be tempted, but I'm not gonna. So I rolled an 18 plus 1, 19.
Okay, so 19 total?
19 total.
So as you investigate some of like the mushrooms on there, you see these ones that they're like really pointy ones. There's not very many, but you see these ones aren't psychedelic ones, but they're ones that they give you a lot of extra energy. They'd be kind of something like speed, but you have to you have to mix them up right. They're called sage caps.
Sage caps.
So now
they're white and they're very pointy at the top.
Would this ruin my character's sobriety to take them? It would, obviously.
You could take them to sell them, right?
I'm just gonna be like, from my past experiences, I know that these white-capped ones have a certain effect. If anyone wants, to pocket a few.
Daniel says, "Which ones?" And he's like pointing at whatever's growing.
The pointy white-capped ones.
Sick. And he puts a DM's amounts of worth into them into his pockets to sell on the streets for later. Because again, Daniel grew up on the streets. He knows what's worth what.
I'm going to take a little like side satchel worth, and I'm going to tell myself that I just can't pass up the bargain, but I'm never going to take them.
Okay.
Cool.
So,
Are these things legal?
Daniel,
That's what I always say.
you find 4 that seem like they're like good specimens. So you have to like kind of like hunt around a little bit, but you can see them.
Sage caps. Okay, done.
And then so Ingus, you would know that you can eat them raw, but it's better if you grind them up, and there's like a way that you can concentrate them into kind of like a potion that promotes like bravery.
Daniel, I'll teach you how to prep these later.
Sick. I just wrote down that they're just worth money and that they might promote bravery.
But Ingus, you also know that if you take them, sometimes there is kind of a side effect. So it gives you horrible indigestion and explosive diarrhea.
What doesn't these days? Am I right?
Worth it.
So,
You can take a brave shit.
but if you process them right, you can take the side effect out. But taking them like freebase, it has a lesser effect and a higher chance of side effects.
Bravery on the outside, embarrassment on the inside.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like me every day minus the bravery.
So Ingus, are you taking one or?
Oh, this is already a pivotal character moment for me.
D20. 1 to 10, no.
So-
11 to 20,
So like
yes.
I've written it as my character he's sober and he's dedicated to being sober, but there's always like when he's around drugs, there's that temptation. So I don't know if he wants to take them or not.
Yeah, this wouldn't really be a popular one. It's not like a euphoric one.
And he's already teaching teenagers how to do drugs. God, he's terrible.
But
I'm gonna pass on them. I'm gonna in this early moment he's going to resist taking the drugs, even
Okay.
though he already told a teenager how to use them.
Nice.
I was gonna say that the teenager took 4 of them.
Hell
Okay,
yeah, they're
you're
in my
just
pockets.
passing it on. All right.
Terrible. So he was tempted, but he has chosen to not take them.
Eli or Dalana, is there anything that you wanted to do while these guys are like checking out shrooms that are growing off the side of the cavern wall?
I'm just gonna keep moving forward.
Yeah,
Not
I don't have
interested.
Okay.
pockets anyway, so.
Your outfit does not have
Okay.
pockets.
Ain't that the curse of the ladies?
Yeah, it just has the sewn-on pockets where it looks like pockets, but they're not actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah,
ruffles.
it's
Like
just
the-
They're sewn shut, so you can
Yeah.
actually not.
An illusion.
There's
Mhm.
fantasy
That's so
denim and there's also fantasy jiggings.
Fantasy pockets.
Fantasy. Of course. Okay. So like the cavern kind of narrows a little bit and then goes forward, and then it opens up into kind of like a smaller room, and there's kind of like an open pool. There's like an open pool in the corner.
This narrow hallway here is nothing for me because I'm a tiny little guy. So I'll kind of like forge ahead and enter through this narrow hallway and into
Okay.
this pool area.
I'll make my way here. Take a look. See.
In the pool area, you can see that, kind of like looking into the pool, you can see almost like a faint, like greenish glow coming from like under the water and like under the rocks on top of it. So it looks like the pool like goes down and through into another place.
Oh, so it's like
There's a lot of seaweed at the bottom of this
interesting.
as well, but you can see light coming like through under the water, and it's a different color light than the room that you're in.
What color?
So it's like a light green.
Like an algae kind of green.
Yeah, so it looks almost, it's like another kind of like bioluminescent light. Looks
And there's
like.
there's light coming out of it in like a sense that the water connects to a different room possibly.
It kind of looks that way. So it looks like the light source is coming from under the water.
Ooh.
Huh.
And it's easy to see because it's a different color, so it's almost making the water look kind of eerily green. But you can see there's a lot of like seaweed or different kind of plants growing under the water.
And is it like a pool, like it's like a constructed pool, or it's just kind of like a clump of water?
It looks like a natural, just underground pool. So it
Okay.
is not running. There does not seem to be a current.
How deep is it? Like how far down does it seem to be?
So it goes down maybe like 4 feet, and then you can see kind of like that light shining through the seaweed from like the other side.
You can see clearly through the water. There's not any dark spots or anything like that.
Nope, it's very, very clear water.
Oh, I would be inclined to go in there, but I know I have a full day ahead of me and I have to make my makeup last, so I can't get it wet, you know?
Daniel will go up. He's pretty thirsty from like the rest of the day. that soup was super salty. Even
It
though they gave
was.
us pepper. and he fucking
was
takes
just-
he like takes some shit by the hand and this tastes like, and the DM tells me what it tastes like.
It actually tastes really good. It's really clean water.
Guys, this water tastes
It's-
fucking great.
It's actually good. It's like pure well water. Yeah, it actually tastes pretty nice.
That's coming from the kid who ate 4 bowls of soup, though. So
4 bowls of eggshell filled soup. So like, make
With
sure you
giant
keep
potato
that in
chunks.
consider.
That's yeah.
They were every bite's delicious as the last.
does he seem like vibrant? Do we notice like a physical change in him after he drank it? Like, does
Yeah,
it
do I
seem like
notice a
there was
physical
change?
In the
a
water?
physical benefit to it?
He seems very refreshed.
Ugh.
But it's good water, but you don't feel any like stronger. You don't feel any strange effect other than satisfying.
Now that I am this close, do I notice anything specific about being this close to the waterfront or whatever?
Roll a perception looking into the water.
On it, boss. Let's see what it is.
While he's doing that, can I take a quick peek around the corner? I just want to see what's around the bend.
Yes. So around the bend, it goes down a bit, and you can see that the hallway is obscured by spider webs.
About 20 feet away from me, or?
Yep.
So when I roll a d20, this is Devin not knowing how 5th edition works. Since perception is a wisdom skill, I have a wisdom modifier. Do I add my wisdom modifier to my dice roll?
Yes.
All right, 12.
So you got a 12, and it's not like it's not one of your like class skills.
Nope,
or, like,
it's
proficient
12.
skills. It's just 12.
12.
Okay. So you get a 12, and I mean you're right there, so you're looking through. And again, it kind of looks like there's some light coming through from like another side of it. Again, it's kind of like that iridescent kind of green light coming through from under the water. You can see there's a lot of seaweed in the way, so it's kind of obscured. And you can also see that there's like what looks like these like little oysters growing down at the bottom by the seaweed. So it looks like it goes through to a different way, but there's oysters and seaweed about 4 feet down.
Dude, there's like something totally on the other side of this water deal. And he takes another gulp of water.
Just as delicious as the last.
This water's great.
Good.
Cool. Hopefully you don't get Giardia. I mean, only time will tell for that.
What's that? And then he keeps drinking water.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it right now. You know, it's too late.
I wonder what the Constitution save is for Giardia.
Yeah, I got a Constitution.
Yeah,
my
what's
the- At least a
Constitution. I don't
24.
care.
Yeah, I have 24.
Versus explosive diarrhea.
Instant fail, yeah.
Oof, rough. But anyways, I'm like, yo, water, other path potential? It's over here.
Yeah, you see this armor? Not going in there. Thanks.
Getting rusty.
That's fair.
I don't know. It's not great for the leather, but I could just buy something new.
Yeah, it doesn't seem overly deep, so it doesn't seem like it drops off really past, 4 feet. You'd have to kind of duck under kind of like the rock ledge that,
I'm
seems
gonna
like it separates the two areas.
I'm gonna double check how much foundation I have left in my makeup kit and how much what is it called, powder. And if I have enough, I'll go ahead and I'll stick my head in that water and look.
Is it waterproof?
Absolutely not.
That would be like that'd be masterwork.
Yeah.
No, not that grease stuff. No
Plus
way.
1.
No, so I'll let it
there you go.
I'll stick my head in and then I'll like dry myself off and then I'll reapply as we're walking. But I'll go ahead and like slip my little body into the water and like try to like put my head under the water and keep my eyes open and see how far I can see into it.
Roll a perception once you kind of dip your head under the water.
Ooh, 9 + 1, 10.
Okay. So you're kind of seeing the same thing that Danny was seeing. So again, lots of seaweed in the way, but there does seem to be another chamber that has kind of that greenish light coming from it.
Do I, from what I'm seeing, do I have confidence that I can hold my little halfling breath long enough to swim through?
You think so, because you can hold your breath, I think, a number of minutes equal to 1 plus your Constitution modifier.
Okay.
Before you start drowning.
So I can hold my breath for 2 minutes. Maybe
So you think it does not seem very far from what you can tell.
maybe I should like tie a rope around my waist first though and hand it off to somebody.
Sounds reasonable.
I'll announce to everybody like
Yeah.
I'm willing to explore this, and then I pull out a rope and tie it around my waist and I hand it to who do I trust the most? I guess Eli, if you're willing.
Oh, thank God.
Sure, as long as I'm not going in there.
All right.
My
I'll do it.
strength is not that high.
All right, so wait, you're tying a rope around Ingus, and then Eli, you're going to hold on to the other side of the rope?
Yep.
It's probably a 50-foot rope.
Okay.
Once I feel
Yeah.
secure that I have the rope around my waist, I will dip in and start swimming toward the light.
Okay. And then Eli, you've got the other end of the rope?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll give a little resistance so I can feel if, he's getting dragged off by a kraken or something.
Yeah.
This is where Ingus dies, second episode.
And so,
It happens.
all right. So, Ingus, you start kind of swimming through, and you kind of like swimming through, and the seaweed is extremely thick. And as you kind of like swim through, it kind of like wraps around your legs as you're trying to get through.
Oh,
Not like it like
Jesus.
doesn't grab you, but it just naturally kind
It
of
gets-
wraps itself
yeah.
up since it's thick. Roll either acrobatics to kind of get yourself out of it, or athletics to just break it.
It's definitely going to be acrobatics because I am not strong.
Okay.
So 10 plus 14 total.
Got it. All right. And so you're able to just kind of like kick it off of your legs and kind of like get it and kind of unwrap yourself and just keep swimming through.
Nice.
You swim through and it's really only about 15 feet or so until it opens up into a room that's filled with kind of this greenish light, kind of like greenish fungi that are kind of growing along the walls and along the floor. And so your head's just kind of popping out of the water in this new room. And you can see there's like a burnt out what looks like a campfire, and there's a really shiny in the corner up here, there's what looks to be a really shiny breastplate,
Whoa.
and the green light shines brilliantly off of this what kind of looks like empty piece of armor sitting off to the side. And there's also a kind of looks like an old moldy chest in the other corner of the room, and also some like old moldy bedrolls along the sides of the room.
It seems like somebody was in here at one point, but they're long gone.
Yeah, so it seems like somebody used this as like a camp a long time ago, like years.
All right, I have like 50 feet of rope to extend myself, so I can like crawl out of the pool, and probably like as I'm crawling out of the pool, like my white makeup is just like dripping down my face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you've got like the crying thing with the makeup where it's all just seeping down your face.
Yeah, revealing the
Disgusting.
the acid burn like skin underneath. I'll
Yeah.
walk up to the breastplate and give that a closer look.
And as you come within about 5 feet of the breastplate, you realize that the breastplate isn't empty. And you see these kind of like chitinous arms come out of like the different parts of like the arms and like the neck hole of the breastplate, and these two little like beady eye stalks come out the neck.
Oh shit.
And these two kind of like little crabby claws stick out. And as you kind of approach it, it like sticks its claws out and just kind of like defensively pinches at you. But it's not coming at you. But as you get closer, you notice that the breastplate, it seems to be made out of silver and is also inlaid with all kinds of different gems.
Ooh. So it's a very valuable but potentially dangerous item.
Let's punch it.
Yep.
Can I sidestep and look at the moldy chest as well?
And so you go over to kind of like the moldy chest, and you can see that there was a lock on it, but it is completely rusted, essentially off. So you can basically just pull the lock right off of it.
Okay. I'll do it.
And so you just pull the lock like right off of it, open it up. You can see that there's some like silver pieces piled up on there, as well as kind of like a handful of gold pieces.
Whoa.
I'm taking it.
So in total, there's 74 silver pieces and 15 gold pieces.
Daniel ain't writing that down. He don't know how much is in there.
Oh, and I'm not going to be sharing that information.
Of course
Yeah,
not.
yeah, nobody.
'Cause you're a
Eli's
good
just holding on to
adventurer.
so Eli's just holding onto their end of the rope,
Interesting.
unless anybody else wants to swim through.
I'm still drinking water.
I'm good.
It's very refreshing.
Now that I've pocketed that money, I'm gonna tug on the rope as if I'm in danger, and I want him to like yank me back.
Nice.
Okay, two yanks, right?
Yep,
Yep.
tug.
That's the code.
All right, then I'm just gonna start
Do you
pulling
guys
him back.
discuss that, or you just assume?
Okay,
No, that's
you
an
feel-
that's
all
an
right.
adventurer's
That's-
assumption, you know?
Everyone knows what the
That's
tugs
the
mean.
code.
All right,
Yeah.
then Eli, what's your strength?
It's +1 strength, so we'll.
Okay, so not over. So Ingus doesn't go flying through the air as Eli tugs and pulls the rope
Yoink.
through. Yeah, because Ingus, you probably weigh like what? I mean, 40 pounds.
40 pounds, yeah.
So you're just a little dude.
Well, it's an opposing strength check, so
Yeah. So Eli, you're able to pull Ingus through, and then as you're pulling him, so Ingus, you get dragged back underwater as Eli's pulling
Yeah.
you through, and you hit the seaweed. So Eli, roll strength to
Oh,
pull
shit.
him through the seaweed.
18.
Okay, so
Pull
you
hard.
rip. So
Pull really hard.
you don't even notice. You just rip right through the seaweed, and he pops out back on the other end. So he's back with everybody else now.
I'm gonna be like, "Whew, there is a claw-ish, clippy-clappy monster in there. There's an expensive, jewelry-looking thing, but it's dangerous. I was in danger. But if someone is really into some treasure, there's a little bit in there."
Wait a second. Does he look really messed up?
Oh, my face? Yes.
Yes.
Pretty grotesque. Yeah, I got just
whoa,
drips
wait,
and acid burns.
Are you
yeah.
okay? Like, what happened to you? Your face. You look like you're in pain.
Well,
How expensive was the breastplate? Because I'll punch it.
it was silvery and covered in gems, but there's no way that I could take on that monster myself. I mean, look at me, I'm a wreck.
On it.
Well-
and Daniel will jump into the water and make his way towards the deal.
Ingus, I probably could have said this earlier, but it basically just looked like a really big hermit crab
Mm-hmm.
had made a home in the breastplate. So it didn't seem like it had extra monstery things, but just a big hermit crab.
But he's so small. I'm sure it was scary.
It was
Well,
probably...
yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Might be the same size.
Hermit, yeah, really. Okay. Oh, so Daniel, you're diving through.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so
Yeah.
all right, so and then you hit the seaweed. So acrobatics.
Luckily enough, I got a check mark next to that one.
Okay,
all
so
right.
this should not be a problem.
We'll see about that. Kia! Ooh, I got an 11 plus 5, so a 16.
Perfect, and you were just definitely able to dive and like turn right between the different strands of seaweed, and you kind of pop out the other end, and you kind of see the same green room that Ingus was just in.
Whoa, green.
Yep, you can see the opened chest, the
Oh shit, I forgot
old
to
campfire,
close
the bedrolls.
Well, he doesn't know.
And then also the breastplate is now crawling off to the side as the hermit crab that was in there is now kind of like creeped out, and he's over here now.
Daniel-san will be like at the edge of the water.
Yep. So you can see that the hermit crab is kind of crawling towards one of the corners of the room.
Hey, you!
Punch the fuck
You're
out.
worth my lunch tomorrow. So Daniel-san's gonna try and move into combat range and punch this breastplate.
You're attacking the poor hermit crab.
Poor
Oh, 100%.
He's ready to punch them.
Daniel's gonna punch the hell out of it.
Daniel's response is to either punch or eat things.
Yes, so far.
Okay. As you come running up to it, so Daniel,
Yeah?
roll initiative as you
Oh,
come
you're
running
right.
up to it. It turns around and it kind of like bears its hermit crab pinchers at you.
So I got a 17 plus my dex, which is 3, so 20.
20.
Oh shit.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
y'all.
And so you sneak up to it and it turns around, but you do get the first move.
Oh, I'm
Weapon.
punching.
Okay. All fists. Punch
Hey,
that poor crab.
Ooh, what is that? Oh, that's only a 5. So that's only a 10. Yeah,
All right.
that's only a 10.
And so you punch down and your hand just goes ping, up against the side of the breastplate and like a nasty sting
Ooh.
kind of like goes up your hand. So that's punching pure metal.
Because as a monk, I get a bonus action as another punch, so it's happening. Kia! And that's a natural 20, actually, as a dice roll.
and you punch the hermit crab right between the eye stalks.
Bang! Oh, and I gotta roll a
Roll for
dice.
damage.
Yeah, you're
Yep.
right. Is it 2d4?
Yeah, so 2d4 and then add your dex bonus. for
Don't lie to
damage.
me. Do I add it twice or is it just once?
Just once. Yep, but you double the dice.
Kia! Oh, I dropped that d4. Let me roll another one. Kia! Oh, so it's 3 plus 3, so 6.
And you punch the hermit crab like right between the eye stalks, and you can see like one of his eye stalks actually breaks off.
Oh, yeah.
You can hear his like actual shell kind of break a little bit as
Hell
he comes
yeah.
back at you with a snipper.
Oh, shit.
And then what is your armor class?
It is 15.
Okay, and so you were easily able to dodge a snipper
Oh,
attack.
really? Wow, I'm surprised. Okay.
Yep, so this thing moves pretty slow compared to what you're used to sparring against.
Thank God. Those punks are real quick.
As a side note, while this is going on, Ingus is going to be standing in the corner of the first chamber, facing away from everybody and fixing his makeup situation.
We all got jobs to do, you know? Some got makeup, some got punches.
You gonna keep punching the hermit crab? Danny?
If it's still in my range,
It's still right there. It's
does it
still
have
pinching
the
at you.
breastplate on it? I was gonna say, does it still have the breastplate on it?
It's still got the breastplate on it. I mean,
All
that's
right, I
its
gotta
home.
punch the hell out of it.
It's essentially
So-
connected to the breastplate.
First punch, king, yaw. Ooh, that's only an 8 plus 5, which is 13.
And then so the other fist goes ping, as you notch.
Shit.
Yep. So the breastplate is hard.
All right. Next D20. King, yaw. That's
Catchphrase.
also the same amount, an 8 plus 5, so 13.
And again, the breastplate is very hard.
Bang,
so
bang.
It's tough.
It happens.
Well decorated. Ooh, just in time for a pincher to come by and pinch you right in the ankle.
Uh-oh.
My ankle's my
And-
weakest part.
And you can feel it like digging through your skin. This is a strong crab.
Oh no.
Takes 7 damage as he pinches like through your ankle to the bone.
Oh,
shit.
jeez.
You didn't put a rope on or
Okay.
anything. We can't yank you to
I
safety.
did not.
Yeah, I have no
Don't you
idea.
worry about that.
I'll
Okay.
go ahead and call up the rope that I brought.
Danny,
Stash
all right.
away.
Yeah, no one knows what's going on. So, Danny, what would you like to do? You're
In-
bleeding profusely from the leg.
100%. And Danny's flaw is if he's outnumbered, he will run away. So,
This
since it's one-on-one, like, he's gonna punch him. So,
Gotta keep going.
yep, it's what it is. So he's gonna punch this crab
okay.
again.
Okay.
Okay, y'all. That's a 19
Ooh, okay.
All right,
plus
that
5, so 24
Yep, that hits the crab.
for a 1d4. Oh, I get to add dex to my
Yeah,
damage.
to your damage. Yep.
So that's a 6 for the first punch. And then for the next punch, maybe hit. Oh, nope, it's only an 11 to that hit.
It's
So
because
never
you
mind.
didn't do the sound effect that you didn't roll very well.
I
that's
know,
all.
it happens.
So, yep, so the second one again, you just get caught on the breastplate, but that first punch broke a lot of the crab's internal shell, and there's like crab goo all over your fist, but the crab
I
is
lick
still
it.
like shambling, and it just tries to swing one more claw at you again, going at your other ankle,
Please don't hit
which you're definitely able to dodge out of the way.
me. Thank you.
Jesus.
Okay.
We'd have our first death by hermit crab.
Oh,
Dude,
boy.
I was waiting for it.
Okay, but no, you get a couple more punches. This crab's shambling. It's barely able to like hold on to its shell at this point.
I will roll. Oops, drop the dice.
Oh
Grab
my.
another d20 because you brought 4 sets of dice, Devin, to this game. Throwing a punch. Kee-yaw! Ooh, that's only a 6, which means it's 11. But as a bonus action, I get another punch. Please don't fucking miss. Kee-yaw! That's a 13 plus 6, which is a 19.
Okay, that one that does hit the crab. You can hear the crunch of the internal shell. Let's see if it's enough to knock them out.
It's a 4. Wow. Plus 3, so 7 points of damage.
And with that last punch, you kind of punch and it goes into the breastplate, and it snaps off the other eye stalk. And you withdraw your hand, and there's like little chunks of shell, and the crab just kind of collapses, and there's crab goo coming out of the very ornate breastplate.
Whoa, radical! And I'll wipe my fist on my denim equivalent pants, and I'll fucking
absorbent.
pocket that breastplate.
I don't know if you can pocket that. You'll have to like dump the crab
I'll hold
out.
it in my arm.
It's
like
full
a
of dead
duffel
crab right
bag.
now. Are you gonna dump the crab out, or are you just gonna keep the crab in there?
Oh,
Keep the crab.
well,
Is it
I guess
edible?
that's it. Yeah, I was
he's
about
gonna
ready to
eat
say. Yeah, I was about ready to say. Is it like a Red Lobster type of
Delicacy.
dish?
I don't know.
After you mutilated it?
Yeah,
I've
how much
never
I pummeled
tried
it.
I've never tried hermit crab, but some of the legs are still intact, and it's very large. I mean, some of the legs are like about the same width as your like forearm.
Alaskan king crab. It's pretty tasty.
I'll just take the breastplate and I'll fucking put that under my arm and swim back.
So you're swimming through the breastplate, swimming through, and so then so roll an acrobatics to get through the seaweed.
Oh, okay. And so with a 3 and a 2, that's an 8.
Uh-oh.
And you are tangled in seaweed. And
And
so you're caught under. So yep, you are caught. Okay, so it takes a little
Okay.
bit longer, but then next round, roll another one.
an 11 plus 5, so 16.
Okay, and so you are able to untangle yourself and get across to the other side.
And I, oh, holy shit! The breastplate weighed me down. That's what it was, Eric. And I'm like, hey, dudes! And I fucking throw that shit up on the shore side.
Hey,
That's pretty
dude,
nice.
what the happened in there?
Yeah.
Your ankle's like
Are
bleeding.
you
Yeah.
Yeah, you
He's
are.
bleeding
Hell
really
yeah,
bad.
I am. But
You-
check that shit out. And I point at the breastplate.
Pretty cool, man. You must be proud of yourself.
Yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
very nice breastplate. It seems to be made out of silver, and it has like different colored gems, kind of like were neatly kind of put into there, and it's kind of got like a design of a griffin on the front.
Do we know anything about that sign? Is it like a noble house? Can I investigate? and try and figure it out
Roll
more?
knowledge, religion, either religion
I'll
or
roll
history.
knowledge. Because I have knowledge history.
Yeah, it's either like history or religion.
I'll try history. Oh shit, 19.
I only have a 16.
With the 19,
But I rolled history.
Okay, so with the history, you don't think that this one, you think that it's just kind of like a mundane decoration, that it's not officially tied to like one of like the noble houses. It's
Okay.
just a nice fearful design.
But we can tell it's valuable.
It seems to
hope
be.
so.
It's probably extremely valuable. I mean, between the gems on there and it's well made, kind of made out of silver, but then also inlaid and kind of reinforced with iron, so that it's still not as bendy as silver. Because I think silver's kind of
Right.
bendy. I'm not sure.
Silver
it is a little
is
bit
pretty
bendy.
soft. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's soft.
we're all precious metal experts.
Let's see. Is there
But
any way
it
you can just guess the value of this thing?
Yeah, roll like just a wisdom check. I think that'd be like an intuition type thing.
No idea.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a natural one, I'm pretty sure. Or I think it's worth very, very
Oh,
much.
you think it's
I don't
worth
know.
a fortune?
It's really shiny.
It's shiny. It must
Okay.
be worth a lot.
You think this is going to be worth a lot? You've got a hell of a treasure.
Damn.
But it does
Oh,
have
man.
a couple kind of like slight dents in it from. They kind of look like fist
From
dents.
punches?
Yeah, there's a couple like knuckle marks in it. They're kind of like, but you think that like an armor could probably tap those out.
Definitely.
All right, guys. We should definitely hang on to this and probably sell it.
I thought so too.
Yeah. Because it's kind of too ugly to keep anyway. So.
All
Also, I
dented.
almost died. Can anyone heal me 7 hit points?
Oh, you are among non-healers right now.
I
Oh.
cannot help you, sir.
Oh no!
Ooh.
Does
Yeah.
anyone have
But I can
potions?
pretend to help you and
No.
say that I'm helping you and maybe convince you that I help you, but I
Wait.
won't.
Can I use like a medicine check to try and...
No, that shit's garbage.
Like-
So yeah, I don't think that heals for anything. So like
I think it's stabilized.
because like
Stabilizes.
healing's pretty simple, like in 5th. So if you guys took a short rest, you could heal back like 1 hit dice.
Short rest is 1 hour.
Yeah, so it'd be like just 1 hour of chilling out.
Well, guys, we did go down a ladder and turn a corner, so maybe it's time we take a short rest.
Just a smoke break, you know, type of
I've
situation.
been working
This is
very
intense,
hard.
but
at least
a
patch
deadly
him up, I
encounter.
suppose.
With a crab.
And I'll just juggle the whole time.
Sounds pretty hot.
Okay, yeah, for
I do want to ask the guys though. Was there anything else in the room that like had anything of value? Did you inspect the whole thing?
I didn't look at anything other than the
Okay.
jewel-encrusted breastplate that I had to
Alright,
fight
alright.
to
There was
the
a
death.
moldy
to
ass chest that's empty, you know? Nothing special.
Weird. Okay.
Eli, from your former appraisal of the breastplate, you think this thing with how shiny this has to be worth 2,000 gold pieces. You're sure of it.
Yeah, 2,000 gold minimum.
It's gotta be. It's got gems on it. It's really shiny. It's
You could always get someone to
all I
pay
can
that.
do.
Totally.
Daniel's inventory has 0 gold, so any amount is
Is good.
probably pretty fucking solid.
Yeah, Dalana's
Yeah.
got no cash or a name yet.
Yeah, but Eli, you would know that like a normal breastplate is like 400.
No, I knew that.
Yeah, so you would, as like a...
I'm a connoisseur of armors is what I'm getting at here.
This one is shiny, so it has to exponentially go up.
Like
Yeah.
at least 400 copper pieces? That's crazy.
No.
Well, you
gold-
haven't
gold
sold it yet.
pieces.
Even better. That's more than copper.
yeah,
You
yeah, it
could have
is.
lied. You could have lied. You fool, Sam.
This
you could
boy-
have lied and you could have give Daniel your pennies.
Not a
And he
lying
doesn't-
character, unfortunately.
He's
Not
a
this one.
a good, honest guy. So we're gonna take a short rest. Roll.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So so you roll for your health, and then you add on your Constitution modifier.
Kia! Ooh, that's hot. Daniel's young and spry and rolled a 7, which put him right back to max.
Spring
Yes.
him back just like a
So-
teenager would.
So your ankle just heals right back in an hour.
Ah, nice! I'm ready to go!
Heals easy.
So Daniel's son Wei is sipping water, and in the process of sipping that water gains 7 hit points, and is waiting for the rest of the party to finish their equally timed out smoke break.
Yeah. Well, now that my character has been in the water and like his like grease paint makeup dripped off in there, I hope you can like taste that a little bit in the water now.
Does this water taste more lead-like than it did before?
Or what is it like in Victorian times? They had like arsenic in there,
Oh,
or was it
Just
lead?
straight up poison?
yeah.
The women would wear makeup
Mercury?
that like made their skin way more pale, but it was actually like a poison that was slowly killing them. So whatever that, you're drinking that, but I also have it on my face
It
every
looks
day.
good.
But it makes me look very fair and beautiful in my off-putting sort of way.
Pain is beauty.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys finish up your kind of short little break as Daniel miraculously heals up his almost severed ankle. But you guys have a fancy new breastplate.
I think we're gonna fetch a fair
Okay.
price at the market with this.
Since you know what it's worth, you should hold on to it, and Daniel will give that to Eli's Way.
So that narrow hallway that broke off into the pool, we can get back on that, right, and turn the corner?
Yeah, so you can kind of continue down like the
Yeah.
narrow hallway, and then it kind of opens up a little bit as you continue kind of past the opening where like the pool was.
Okay. I'm going to take a peek right around the corner there.
And so as you peek around the corner, you can see again, there's still kind of that bioluminescence of the fungi across kind of the ceilings and the walls and the floors. But you can see that the cavern, it kind of opens up a little bit, but it's completely crisscrossed in like old spider webs, and extremely thick spider webs from the looks of it.
Yeah. Let's just light it on fire. It'll be fine.
Okay.
I think it'll be fine.
I was going to maybe see if, like, because Mage Hand you can hold up to 10 pounds, is that right?
I think so. Yeah, it's 5 or 10 pounds, so not very much, but you can...
I could, like, take my Mage Hand and just, like, swat as much as possible, see if that, like, gets
Okay.
the spider webs
Alright.
out of the way.
With Mage Hand, you are able to kind of swat some of the spider webs away, or at least enough to be able to kind of like open up a path that you could get through. But it'd be only a path that about like a halfling could easily get through.
Oh, you can just light a torch, right? I mean, most spider webs will just light on fire.
As far as I know, bro.
I'll pull out a torch and light it up.
So Eli, you have torches with you?
I just have the standard backpack of stuff.
Just
I
make-
think it only comes with one torch, to be fair.
Okay. Hey, well, that'll do the trick.
As far as I know, Daniel has no money and 4 sage caps, and that's
Oh.
it.
That's it.
Why you just have mushrooms that you found in a cave?
Are you an orphan?
Well, no, he has a single mother, just one whole mother
Oh, yeah.
that
But an
worries
entire
sick
mother.
about him.
Okay.
And his personality is sleep with back to wall while clutching all belongings, and he's a poor boy with
Poor
a poor
boy.
family. He had nothing
Well,
except for the
okay.
super secret street knife that he has,
And one mother that worries about you.
and one worrisome mother. Yes.
Oh.
You could have died in this cavern and she would have never known. How
And
sad.
she would have been none the wiser. She would have worried just the same.
That's sad. Carrying on. So,
Crab's got 'em.
have you torched it already or no? Not yet.
Yeah, so Eli, you light
yeah.
up one of your torches, and as you kind of like brush your torch up against the webbing, it burns, it lights on fire almost instantly and slowly kind of sears away. You can easily just kind of burn a path kind of right through the webbing. And as you're kind of going through, like 10 feet of it, you notice that there's one like really big gob of kind of webbing that almost looks like about like a human-sized,
Oh, that's not good.
Almost as if a human could be inside of that webbing.
looks like a wrapped-up fly, but human-sized.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
nothing
I'll-
shiny.
Nothing shiny that you can see, but it's covered
into
in webbing. Unless, Eli, you want to burn off that webbing that's surrounding the
I
big
will-
cocoon. That's kind of like hanging in the webbing itself.
Yeah, how about I cut it free and then burn off the rest of this webbing?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you cut through the webbing kind of surrounding the cocoon, and the cocoon kind of just goes thump on the floor. All the webbing burns away.
I guess we could search this corpse. Let's just investigate. I'd like to, I guess, I'll pull out a dagger and cut it open in case it's alive.
Okay, you're gonna like carefully open it up or like poke it to see if there's signs of life? It doesn't seem to be moving.
Well, I'll carefully cut it open because I don't want like, guts and everything flying everywhere.
Right. I was just more worried about a million baby spiders coming out of this thing.
Oh.
Okay.
But you continue.
Yeah.
Roll a dexterity check for surgical precision.
Surgical precision. Okay. 11.
Oh, that's not great.
And so with your dagger, you kind of like cut through and you're kind of you don't jam into it accidentally, but you kind of cut through and it kind of opens up and you can see that inside there's kind of like looks like a desiccated corpse of what kind of just looks like what was a sailor. So he's wearing kind of like some of the same stuff and kind of like some preserved leather boots.
I was gonna say, I just imagine the hat, the neckerchief, and then like the sailor suit.
I was thinking more like pirate, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't really look pirate-esque, but you can tell from what he's wearing is probably looks like a fisherman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, anything valuable on him or?
Investigate.
Yeah, 10.
Ooh.
Great rolls today. Great rolls.
So he's got like a knife on his belt, just kind of looks like a work knife, and he's also got 25 silver pieces. But that's about everything that you can find on him. Otherwise, it just kind of looks like a mundane guy. And the corpse is so old that he's been dried out. It must have been down there for years.
Well, it looks like no one's come this way in a while.
Is there a way to... So the cocoon part around him, the like spider webs and stuff feel old too?
Mm-hmm.
So none of the spider webs feel fresh at all? So
they don't feel fresh. They still have like their stick, a little bit of stick to them, but there's also kind of like a layer of kind of like dust.
Okay, but I will acknowledge to everyone that we may be facing a big-ass spider later on. That's,
I mean, when do you ever go down a hole and not punch a spider?
I never have, and
I've never punched a spider
never
myself.
want to.
Oh, really?
Can't say I've done that either. So what's this up here? Is there a way out of here, or?
So that looks like it was an opening, but from the looks of it, it's completely collapsed.
Oh.
So you can't see any light from the end of it. It was looks like a complete cave-in.
Huh.
So it may have led somewhere at some point, but excavating it would be tough. There's extremely large rocks that are in the way.
I could like...
And it kind of spills out into the cavern a little bit.
Cast Thunder Wave and try to like blast open the path.
Yeah,
I don't
Thunder
know,
Wave in a cave sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah, it caused a cave in.
What's up ahead? Let's figure it out that first.
Yeah, can I just touch my hands against the wall and fucking feel my way through progression?
Is there anything around this corner?
Eli, as you kind of like peek around the corner to where like there's a bend in the cavern, you can see that it kind of like opens up a little bit into kind of like a larger room. And then in like the far corner of it, it looks like you can see there's like the charred, kind of desiccated corpse of an extremely large spider, but it's completely blackened. And you can see up against the wall, it's like there's like a blast mark. There's like soot all over the walls, and you can see that like the spider corpse is completely charred. And there's soot all over the floor and then also all over the wall.
That's good.
That's,
looks like someone fucking barbecued that spider.
Well, it looks like we won't be fighting this spider at least.
Yeah.
Not this time.
And again, we said that about orcs last night, so...
Zomborks.
And then across from the spider, there's a very narrow kind of passageway that goes straight back. And you can see at the very end of it, it goes to a dead end. It's only about, 25 feet back. You can see that, like, sitting on the floor, there's, like, another, what looks like a kind of like a desiccated body of a guy that's holding what looks like from there, it looks like a crossbow that he's holding it kind of facing towards the opening. But he's kind of like hunched over and he's obviously long dead, but he's got a crossbow just kind of like sitting, in his lap. So he died with the crossbow in his hands.
That's cool.
I mean, not cool for him, probably, but...
Well, right, because he's dead.
He's dead.
By the way, if it ever comes up, since Eli seems to be the one running point, Daniel is right on his coattails. He's doing the little brother thing when, like, the older brother looks across peeks across the hallway. Then the younger brother, like, peeks right with him. He's doing the same goddamn thing.
Danny, as you peek around like Eli's shoulder, you're able to see that what the guy is holding at the very end of that like cavern, it looks like a crossbow, but it's loaded with like something round. It's a strange looking crossbow, and you can see it from where you are. It looks like it's modified somehow.
Whoa, I've never seen a crossbow like that before.
Does any of us recognize what this crossbow is or isn't?
Oh, can I history?
I mean, does anyone want to take a closer look, kind of like go down the passage and
dude, I'll touch it.
look at it?
That sounds like a Daniel thing to do.
So, Daniel, you're going down there?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I'll check it out, guys. You hang back.
So you walk up on it, and it's obviously looks like a desiccated. It's a human. He's holding this. As you walk up, it's kind of built like a crossbow, but instead of like a cord that like hooks back the bolts, it's this like elastic sling, and it's loaded. And you can see at the end of the sling, it's got this little round kind of like looks like a potion container, and you can see that it's locked and it's loaded.
This is badass.
So it's cocked back,
and
it could still go off.
Hell yeah.
But it has like this potion bottle that's in like looks like a silvery container.
So little did Eric know that Daniel has sleight of hand. So Daniel will sleight of hand Indiana Jones the sand into the like where the idol used to be.
Okay. You can either try to like just take the bottle out, or you can try to like unhook the sling
I'm gonna
without it.
Try and take the whole damn crossbow. You kidding me?
And like disarm it.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Good luck.
So
Daniel?
Yeah?
Yeah, mind the trigger. The trigger. You know how those things work, right?
What? And I roll the dice. And I got a 16 plus 5, so it's a 21.
Ooh, all right. So as you kind of look at it, and you can see like how like the little levers are. And so you're able to take the potion out without the sling going off. And then once the potion's out, you can just press the trigger and it goes clink. And like the rubbery thing opens, and now it's at rest.
Okay.
And so now you have kind of like this like silvery, it's like a potion in this like silvery container.
Okay, a silvery potion-y container.
Worth 2,000 gold.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta praise it first, bro.
And then a crossbow. Is it, okay, so is it a hand crossbow? Or a regular light or heavy crossbow?
I mean, I call it an alchemist. It's an alchemist sling. It's a potion launcher essentially. But you can see on the corpse's body, he's got 3 more of these like silvery containers on his belt.
A silvery potion times, and you said there were 3 more.
Yep. So you would have
4.
Yep, you'd have 4 total.
And I'd say, "Oh, clear, dudes. Who knows how to use a crossbow?"
I think I'm proficient in a light crossbow. I'll take it.
He's
Why
like,
not?
I just punch. Here. And I give it to the clown. And I say, take this. And these as well. And I give you a light crossbow with 4 silvery potions.
Oh, wait, I dare you to juggle those.
Oh.
Can find out what they are.
Right.
If they break one.
I'm going to take a closer look at the potions. Do investigate.
For juggling.
Or is it perception? What is it? No, investigate? Oh,
Yeah, so
my
you can do investigate on
God.
these potions.
I rolled a 1. Oh, wait, I get to re-roll ones because I'm one of those halflings.
Oh, you're a halfling. Oh my god, that is an overpowered ability.
I feel like that's cheap as hell, but I'm gonna do it.
Yep, nope, you get it.
I have a 10 total now.
So it looks like with these potions, there isn't like a stopper at the end, so you wouldn't be able to open it. You can see that like the end of where they're like perfectly round, and there's like a little like top of where normally there'd be like the stopper, but there's no stopper. There's like glass sealed over the end, so you would have to break it in order to get the stuff out. So you're not really sure what's in there.
Can I go over to the spider to see if there's any like similar shards near them? I'm wondering if
investigate the kind of like the ashen
spider corpse.
Spider corpse. 17 total.
Okay. Yeah, so you see that there's like ash all around the spider corpse, and obviously the spider corpse is horribly burned. And you do see that there's like these little, as you kind of like look around, you can see there's these little bits of kind of like that silvery glass around there. So it looks like this spider was ended by one of these.
Yeah. So these potion things, these potion balls definitely ended this spider, so I will not be juggling them.
It seems a bit dangerous. I don't want to be around when you're juggling.
The impulse
Definitely
to
don't
juggle.
drink them either.
Yeah, well, that's for you to say. Yeah. Drink everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
my like
Def, don't drink that.
maybe I get this horrible like feeling runs up and down my spine because like I was sealed in a barrel of acid at one point in my life, and we're talking about this like hot liquid thing that I now possess. So I'm like, I'm gonna hold on to this for now, but I would love it if someone else took this from me.
Daniel can't use them, and he will not take them back if you
Okay,
try
well,
to give them to him.
I'll hold on to them for now, but I definitely want to offload them somehow. So, the hallway beyond the spider, there's a narrow little.
Yeah, what do we got going
Yep.
up here?
So it narrows again as you're passing by the spider, and you get about 15 feet down, and you can see that it opens up. And before you get about that far, Eli, you can hear kind of like echoing through the cavern. It almost sounds like a couple guys are talking, but they have these really strange, deep, almost like bubbly, gurgly voices. Eli, roll perception.
I have a sword and shield. Of course I'm going first.
Yep.
And Daniel will punch whatever comes past.
Very perceptive with a 9.
Oh boy. Okay. So you can hear you guys' perception is so
It's really bad.
yeah.
No. It's a class skill too, just so you know.
Oh man. You can hear voices again with the echo. You're not sure how many there are. But then also you can also hear over the voices, you can also hear running water.
So that's only Eli.
Yeah, so Eli's first, and obviously it's a really narrow passageway, and so Eli, you can just kind of see like the edge of this kind of like, there's like an eddy as like water is running down, and then again like kind of like under an overhead or like over like an underground river type deal. So it runs under some stone, so it opens up but then runs underground after a bit.
Okay, I'm going to turn around and put a finger up to my lips and point to go back. Let's at least go back, I don't know, 20 feet. Let's go back here.
Daniel will fucking Michael Jackson slide his way back.
Ooh.
Does anybody else want to try to like peek around the corner or
Yeah.
try to like take a look?
I'm naturally
anything?
stealthy, so I'm gonna like sneak up right to the edge and try to peek around.
Roll a
Stealth.
stealth.
13 plus 2, 15.
Okay. And so as you peek around the side, you can see obviously that there's like running water off to the side, and you can see that across like this kind of underground riverway, there's a little like wooden bridge that was built that crosses this, and on the other side of the bridge, there's kind of like another landing that has again this kind of like purple bioluminescent fungi all over it. You can see there's these kind of like two figures that are kind of like standing over what looks kind of like piles of stuff, and they're kind of like digging through it, and they're facing away from you, and you can see they're talking to each other, and they have these really kind of strange, deep, bubbly voices as they're kind of like digging through this stuff.
And I can tell like what their like basic height is and stuff like that, or
Yeah, so you'd think they're about 4.5 feet tall. Roll a perception on them.
okay.
Fish people.
14, 15.
Okay.
Frog people?
So from the look of it, they're wearing clothes, but you can see that they do have like fins coming out of like the sides of their elbows and also out of their head. And you think you can see like gills coming out of the sides of their heads.
Oh, man.
Oh.
And their heads are
Fish
like,
people.
yeah, if like a cod stood up with legs and kind of like bent over a little bit and grew arms.
And had arms.
Yeah, you can't see their face, but they have these really strange bodies. But you can see there's like these like piles of like bags, and you can kind of see like the glitter of something kind of piled up on the side as they're kind of digging through and talking to each other in this weird bubbly language.
That glitter is money. We gotta murder him for money.
How about we come back this way and talk about it real quick?
There's also, right before the bridge, there's a skeleton, maybe like 5 feet from the bridge, in front of like an outcropping of fungus.
So, I mean, we've been told over and over again to sort of like trust certain people and kind of just go with the flow. So, like, they did say that it's been a while since they've been down here, but it's not necessarily that these are dangerous people.
Yeah, sure. They're just regular old townsfolk.
There's one of two ways. We might be able to just walk past them, or we may have to fight our way past them. All I'm saying is, maybe we should have a plan.
We could just casually walk past them as if we're meant to be here and they're meant to be there and they're doing their thing and we're doing our thing.
Yeah, we should
live
just be
in
confident
this
about
I
it.
mean, maybe.
Yeah, okay. I like that.
Yeah, I will let you go first, Ingus.
That's the fish person way.
We'll just walk very deliberately past them, and if they look at me, I'll just nod and keep going.
Ingus, did you get a good look at him?
Oh yeah,
You
they
don't recognize him.
they are fish people who seem to be
Monsters.
merrily doing their job.
Fish people. I don't even know what a fish person is.
They're just doing fish people things.
You go with the flow, bro. I'll follow suit after you're through, dog.
I'll go walking out, It's
Yeah.
fish people.
Oh,
I
you
mean,
fool.
So-
we can walk out there.
And I'm going to just walk straight ahead 30 feet as if I'm very intentionally moving past them.
Okay. So you're gonna just walk nonchalantly.
Well, so they're turned away from me, right?
Yes.
So, if possible, I will just stealthily walk through and be fine with them not noticing. But if they do turn and notice me, I'm going to react as if I'm meant to be there and nothing is wrong.
Okay. So also with the sound of running water also helps kind of drown out the sound of your footsteps. So they may not notice you if you just walk by, because they seem, from what you can see, pretty intent on kind of parsing through the piles of stuff they have in front of them.
My subrace is Lightfoot, so that's got to count for something.
Oh, hey. Okay.
Do we know, are these amalgamites of anything that we would know just from living in this world?
So nobody at all, anyone who is fairly educated about the entire land of Havathax would expect there to be half animal, half people around.
Okay.
Seeing a fish person isn't, it might be possible that you've never seen this version of Amalgamite before, but the idea that a fish human exists is not a shock to anybody, I don't think. Unless you were really isolated you were really restricted in your youth or something like that. But if you have an average intelligence, you probably know that there are half animal people out there.
That's fucking awesome.
Would we be innately superior to them in our belief, or
class-wise, yes. So technically, all of our characters are part of the Protogencia, which means that we are the ideal class, and we perceive ourselves as better than them. But if you're of the Thaxelrothian religion, you realize that your god is one of these. First of all, Thaxelroth is a half cockroach, and all of these amalgamites exist because of Thaxelroth defending humanity. So, I don't think, technically you might consider yourself of a higher class than them, but you're not looking down on them in a disparaging way necessarily, I don't think.
Okay.
Unless you're a jerk.
But we wouldn't have a natural, need to fight him, kill him. Nothing.
Yeah. A need to kick down the door and kill what's inside.
If you're
Okay.
if you're of average culture or better, you probably wouldn't be inclined to kill someone just because they're a half animal.
All right.
So I'm gonna attempt to just walk right past them casually, sneaky if possible. But if they notice me, I will go unfazed.
Do you want to try to stealth or just
If I choose stealth and they turn around and they see me, do I look like I'm trying to be shady?
maybe a little bit, but that's just basically be where you are. That just basically just being careful with your steps. So it wouldn't. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily be hunched over. It wouldn't
Scooby-Doo style.
that much. Yeah, but it wouldn't just be strolling through.
Could I turn it into a performance instead, where I'm walking with purpose? Because I would do a lot better with that.
You could.
I'm gonna do a performance for a VIP walk.
Okay, so roll performance.
Oh shit. 4
22.
4 plus 5, so it's a 9 total.
9. All right. So as a clown, you kind of look like you're supposed to be in this cave,
I mean, you're wearing the makeup.
Yeah.
but
But the weird part is that you're in a cave and a clown.
A clown in a cave. I'm just spreading joy.
As you walk, they don't seem to notice. It seems like they're kind of counting through. You can see that there's some coins in the piles of stuff that they have, And you see that they're counting through, and they're kind of like sticking them into like little bags on their belts.
Mhm.
And so they are wearing like clothes, although they're extremely like wet and very shabby. But they do have little vests on and belts.
Adorable.
No shoes though. Yes, no shoes.
Cute.
But they didn't notice me. I kind of just walked right past them.
They did not seem to notice between like the running water and then them just busily counting through their hoard of stuff. They didn't seem to notice.
Nice.
Yeah, well, screw it. I guess let's go.
All right, we're just gonna go. I mean, that was a terrible performance, and they didn't even notice. Let's go.
Rude.
Okay, so everyone's just kind of walking through. All right, so as everyone's walking through, one of them kind of turns around, or he kind of looks at the other one, and out of like the side of his eye, he kind of like turns around and he like nudges the other one, and he kind of like points over at you, and he goes bloop, 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 as there's kind of like this really deep, bubbly, gurgly fish language, and they just kind of stop, and they kind of look at you. You know, they have like eyes on like the sides of their head, so they have to like look at you from the side.
Yeah, fish style.
And so they're just kind of watching, and they're kind of like playing possum almost.
Daniel from Living on the Streets does the same. Just keeps looking at him, but like stops moving every muscle, and it's just like,
Okay, and you can see their fish eyes kind of like dart around between like the different ones, and you can see one of them like reaches down, and he like picks up. There's like a burlap sack down on one of the piles of stuff, and he starts like while like watching you, he starts like scooping the stuff into the sack.
well, Daniel will yell as a notice of that. Being a street urchin, says he's grabbing goodies, and will clench his fists and look at his compadres to see if they want to jump into action of murdering this man beast for goodies.
Oh my god, no.
And one of the fish guys points over at basically all of you, and just like in this totally broken form of like common, just blurts out like, "No, come close."
I was gonna say Daniel knows gutter, so like he can speak that shit.
These things know a little bit of the common. At least this one does. As like the other one is like kind of like trying to like put everything just like into this one like large bag that it has. And you can see that these things, they do have like what looks like kind of like shields on their backs, as well as like as like spears, and then on their belts they have nets.
Okay, that sounds pretty dangerous.
Yeah. I'm gonna just wave. Like, what are we waiting for here?
Yeah, Daniel's got his fists up. He's looking at his boys, waiting for a response.
There's like a shred of common that we share with these guys, right? So I can try to like cryptically.
So like very basic commands. Like if you showed up for Spanish class a couple times during the semester, like
no habla español.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'll try to say something like
blub 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 common.
I'll say we no fight if you no fight.
We know el fido if es you know you so el no fido.
We
como
blah,
estás?
Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and one of them kind of looks at you, and he goes, blub, 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 no kill.
No kill.
No kill.
Yeah.
And he just like points at you, and he just like points like keep going. As the other one just like scurriedly and kind of like nervously starts trying to like pack up all their stuff.
Yeah, we could just let these guys go.
Yeah, Daniel lets go of having fists and puts his hands in his denim equivalent pockets and keeps walking with the boys.
Awesome. I'm so proud of you, Daniel.
Daniel has grown today.
Daniel's got crab blood on his hand. He can keep more blood off his hands if he doesn't need to, you know?
Doesn't need fish slime on there. So as everybody keeps walking, you can kind of hear that like they start like talking back to each other, and they're kind of like blub 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 language. You can kind of hear, you know, they start like pouring the stuff back out on the floor, and they continue their sorting.
Could have gotten gold, you fools.
We already have $2,000 worth of $2,000 worth of blood breath.
Yeah,
as
exactly.
As far as we know.
That's the laurels we're
I'm
resting
sure of it,
on
dude.
here. We walked past them, and then I'll continue following Eli down this next hall here.
Okay.
Just you wait. I'll roll 20 on my bluff check to sell it for 2,000 gold.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's all you
okay.
need.
All right. So you just keep walking past, and you kind of like go down another narrow passageway into another room that kind of like opens up, and you can see that in the corner there's like a whole bunch of what looks like kind of like wooden scraps, and like some you can see are bolted together with obviously like nails and different like kind of like metal plates that apparently kept something together, but there's no way out other than as you kind of like look up a bit, you see that like the ceiling obviously is like way up, and about 25 feet up you can see that there's like an opening that goes again off to the side that's illuminated.
Can I do a perception
up
check
in the air.
or an investigate check on the wooden scraps, see what they used to be, possibly?
Yeah, go ahead.
A ladder.
I'm assuming so.
Just kidding.
This is a very valuable roll. 18 plus 1, 19.
That's a waste of an 18.
It is a waste of it, but hey.
So it looks, so as it was like put together, it looks like it was like a wooden staircase and like a platform that used to be there, but obviously got destroyed. It looks like it manually got destroyed, like someone actually ripped it apart.
So somebody sabotaged it is the...
And it looks like the wood on this, you can see the wood is fairly well rotted.
Oh, great. Is this a climbable wall?
So you could, it'd be very hard to climb on its own.
Can I acrobatics my way up there?
It's
Like the second story.
pretty high up.
I got me a rope and a grappling hook, so...
Oh.
I'm gonna rig that shit up
nice.
and give that a whirl. Try to like whip the rope, the grappling hook up there, and like latch it onto the opening there.
Okay, so
Cool.
I would say just like roll to throw it up there. Obviously, it's not gonna be very hard, but just a little dexterity, little ranged attack to throw it up.
7 plus...
Oh.
It's probably not gonna do good enough.
You had that 18 then,
Yeah, I
don't you?
know.
That's
All right.
Nine total.
Yeah, it's an open doorway, so you're able to kind of hook it like just around the entry where like the opening cuts off to the kind of the sheer rock wall.
Mhm.
So you are able to get it hooked onto something. But just one of the hooks latches on. But it seems as you pull on it, it seems fairly sturdy.
All right, well, I'm only 40 pounds, so I'm going to go for it.
Someone's got to test the rope before the rest of us.
Mhm.
Athletics.
Oh,
Yep.
Jesus.
So with the rope, it's easier. So I'll give you advantage since you're using the rope. since
Maybe
you're not just
it's
climbing.
maybe it's time to use one of my bardic inspirations on myself. I'm going to. So
Dance for everyone else.
So how will you inspire yourself? How do you go about your inspiration in this case?
well, I'm going to give myself a big crossover hug, and I'm going to be
Okay.
like, "You're stronger than you think you are. You're stronger than you think you are. You're stronger than you think you are."
It's,
and then I'm
it's
gonna
what your therapist recommended.
Kiss my own arms. I rolled a 19. I don't even need this inspiration. Wait, I gave myself inspiration, but I don't need to use it right now if I already did.
you
good.
don't need to use it. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. So you have it for 10 minutes.
So I rolled a 19.
Okay. Yep. So you kind of repel yourself like up as you kind of like climb up 25 feet up onto the landing at the top, and you can see that your grappling hook was like just barely holding on to some of the rocky floor.
Yeah, I'm gonna like
Gross.
situate it again so that it's like in a better place for the next people.
That's all right. So you kind of like latch it and you kind of like
That's nice.
jam it in like under some rocks, so now it is much more secure than it was.
We have extra rope. Why don't we throw a second one up there?
Yeah, I got a silk rope.
Awesome.
Silk is really
Everyone's-
freaking strong. And then plus it's gonna look really nice too.
Everyone wants to show off their rope skills.
Oh, I don't know if I have any good rope skills, but I do have a nice silk rope.
Wow.
I think I also have a mirror.
Oh, that's nice.
Dalana has more rope and grappling hooks.
Oh, I don't think I have a grappling hook. I just hang on,
Oh.
right? Put a knot in
Well,
it.
I mean, I'm sure you can
No.
just climb up that rope. Right?
Yeah, the one that I
can-
have.
I have a couple spikes you can drive into the wall, I guess.
I have a
Actually,
rope for you guys.
Hello.
Hello
I
down
have
there.
a rope for you.
We're just trying to be safe here.
Yeah.
You don't trust my grappling skills?
I weigh 3 times as much as you do.
Very small.
You may weigh 40 pounds, but I'm a growing boy.
You did have all that soup earlier and a whole potato for Eli.
Yeah.
That's
A
super.
lot
A
of
lot of
soup
carbs.
and I put on a lot of water weight.
Okay, so would anyone else want to throw up another rope? Dalana, did you wanna...
Yeah, let's throw up the silk rope, put a knot in
Hell
it.
yeah.
Okay, so you're going to throw it up to Ingus at the top?
Yes. And I hope he catches it.
Roll ranged attack. Won't be hard, but just to yeet it up there. Yep.
Oh, I rolled a 20.
Okay, if
Nat
you
20,
roll, okay,
so.
Yep. So Ingus, you are hit in the face with silk rope. That is the perfect shot. So
Bam.
yep. So Ingus has got it. Yep. You are the rope expert.
I mean, I'm gonna have to attach it to
Awesome.
something. I'm not gonna be able to pull you up.
I don't weigh too much. I only ate half a bowl of soup anyway.
I'm 40 pounds. I can't handle this.
I'm probably 110.
You're strong for 40 pounds.
In order to make this rope redundancy abundantly clear, I'm going to tie her silk rope to the grappling hook that I already put and be like, go ahead and climb up.
Roll an intelligence check for your to see how good your knot is.
Oh, shit.
A Boy Scout check.
Oh, 19 plus 1, so a dirty 20.
Oh, okay. So
Dirty 20.
So you remember back from your clowning days of
Yeah.
how to tie some very good knots, and so you got this knot on there tight. So you know that this rope is not getting unhooked from this grappling hook. The stone will break before this knot comes undone.
I'm confident that this knot is worth 2,000 gold.
Yes, I believe you.
Priceless knot. Okay, so now there are 2 ropes hanging down
From the
the opening, so you could with 2 ropes and
Oh, I can two-handed or
climb
whatever
up.
up.
Yeah, I don't know if that would work very well, but I guess you
I
could.
don't know.
That would make it a lot harder, but yeah.
Well, I'm going to use the silk one. It's a stronger fiber. We'll do that.
Okay, so make
less abrasion on the hands.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Feels nice.
So she only ate half a bowl of soup, but she needs the stronger fiber, huh?
You get some orthopedic cushion on your way up.
Yeah. So roll, what would that be? Athletics with advantage since you're using a rope.
Okay. So 12 and an 8. So 12 plus, minus is my athletics.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that'd be off your strength.
Okay. Okay, it's a -2, so.
10?
Luckily enough,
Yeah.
10's all you need to climb up a rope.
You kind of struggle a little bit and the wall is slippery.
Oh my god,
so
it's like gym class again.
Yeah, you slip on some fungus, but you're able to hold on, and then you get your feet back on the wall, and you just are able to get up and over to the top with Ingus.
Oof!
So you almost
Okay.
slipped off.
Game mechanic wise, to the kids at home, 10 to climb up a rope is fucking super silly.
It should be a lot harder.
It should be a lot harder.
I never
But then
could.
you also think that it's a D20, and that's a 50-50 chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, climbing up a rope should be a higher DC.
Should be hard.
In
Have you
my
ever done it
opinion.
before? Have you done it before? It's hard.
I couldn't even do it.
It's hard as shit.
The silk rope gods saved me today.
The silk rope
Ain't
gods.
that the truth?
That's
Ain't
a
that the
cleric of
truth?
the silk rope gods.
I'm a believer now.
Okay, so Danny and Eli, you two are still at the bottom, but there are 2
All right.
ropes hanging down.
Danny has acrobatics as a good boy skill.
It's got to be athletics though, so
Oh, damn.
because acrobatics would be if you do a backflip up the.
Well, that's what I was gonna try and do. Was try and do some kind of cool front flip.
So it's strength in this case.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna roll a dice and see what happens.
Okay, but you do get advantage since you have a rope.
Kia. Ooh, it's a good thing I got an advantage. Kia. Okay, so with the advantage, I got a natural 20.
Oh, that says it all. So you are sure-footedly. Yep. So this is much easier. You're much lighter than you thought you were.
Sensei Sanwei made me climb up so many ropes before. No problem.
We're
Easy,
so awesome, guys.
Which rope did you choose? Did you choose the silk one or the hemp one?
Oh,
Well, the silk one probably
true.
feels softer on the hands,
it does.
but
Fine. Very
the
well.
regular one or whatever probably feels like something that Sensei Sanwei would probably use, made out of barbed wire
train
and
you up.
garbage. So that's what he probably.
Barbed wire. You had a tough sensei.
Sensei Sanwei don't give no shits. You kidding me?
All right, Eli, the choice is yours.
Which rope do you choose, Eli? The important thing.
So stupid.
We're taking a poll here, so.
I guess I will. Silk always.
Okay.
All right.
It does feel nice.
As soon as I
So
realize he
popular.
chooses the silk rope, I'm going to detach my hemp and tie it back up. But I'm going to be giving everybody looks as I'm doing it.
So Eli, roll athletics with advantage, dude, to climb up the rope.
Okay. Good thing it's with advantage. So 17 with
Yeah.
advantage.
All right, and so you're able to get. So you've got good footing up against the slippery sides, of the cave wall, and you're just easily able to pull yourself up. So everyone is up at the top, and nobody fell.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And then Dalana, would you want to take back your silk rope?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, and I got 50
yeah.
feet of it. I should really keep that shit around, you know.
Although when you look at the knot that Ingus put on it, he put on a really mean knot. Roll intelligence to see if you can undo the knot.
Okay.
Oh, would it be intelligence or would it be...
I rolled in that one.
Oh my god, okay. So Ingus put probably the most complex knot that you've ever seen in your life on there, and you're looking like at this like knot on like the side of the grappling hook, and you don't even know like where to start of how to loosen it.
Can I snag it from her and undo it for her and just like stare at her the entire time, and then when I undo it, just give her the rope back, tuck away my grappling hook?
Sure. So Ingus, since you tied the knot, you can figure out
Yeah.
how to undo it.
Can I then high five him and say teamwork?
Yeah,
Crisp high
You
five.
know.
I'll allow the high five.
Hell yeah.
Allow it.
I will
Thank you.
allow it.
As a team,
you.
you gotta have a high five.
Yes. So Eli, are you leading the way
Okay.
again?
Sure, I guess. I was just walking, just pacing.
How big is this hallway we're in? Is it like normal size like the rest of it has been, or?
So it's pretty cramped where like you basically have to go single file.
Oh, okay, fine.
So it's about
Go and take a look.
one person can like fit through at a time. So it's pretty narrow.
So since I was the first one up, I guess I'll be in front now.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can move around. You could move around each other
Like
if you wanted to,
shimmy
but
past
again,
each
it's a cramped space.
But yeah, I'll just
sorry.
I'll plow forward. So
Following behind.
I can get to this
Okay.
corner. I'm gonna peek around the next corner.
Okay. So as you peek around this corner, you can see that there's like a really long, obviously a really, really long passageway, all with that kind of like purple lighting. And kind of like way down at the end, you think you can see a much brighter and different colored light that does look like sunlight way down at the end.
Sunlight ho!
Yep, so it does look like you may be near the kind of the end of the cavern.
I think we're getting there, guys. I think we're almost there.
Yeah.
I will continue walking toward the light.
So as you continue walking, it obviously just a really, really straight, narrow path. And without interruption, you're able to get down to the kind of the end of the path. And again, it kind of opens up into like a bigger cavern. And you can see there's kind of like this hole in the side of the cavern where like you can see daylight is seeping through. Where there's there's a hole in the cavern, and you can see there's kind of like vines and stuff that they're growing over kind of the entranceway.
Mm-hmm.
But you could easily kind of part through them to get back to the outside world.
Oh,
Nice. So is it a climb then to get up to the outside world, or?
Nope, it's basically right at kind of normal level. So you could just kind of part through some of the vines and some of like the brush that's kind of grown in the way to get to the outside.
All right. So I'll wait for everyone to catch up, and then I'll step through into the light.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as Eli walks through that fucking fog wall of a Dark Souls boss, Daniel walks through just as soon as he can.
Ingus, you're able to kind of part through like the heavy brush, and obviously there's like vines coming down from the top, and as you part those out of the way, there's like grass and bushes that are like concealing the opening to this. And you kind of open up, and you can see you come out like on a hillside overlooking. You can see there's kind of like the rolling hills and plains like outside of Besbophis.
I am going to look east and look for a tall pine or spruce.
Yeah, east, wherever east is.
It could be a fir if you're not.
Yeah, I
careful.
have no idea what the hell east is, I suppose, since we've been.
I think it said just the biggest ass tree is what I've got in my notes.
The biggest ass
Yep, and
of
so-
trees.
Ast tree.
So as you look kind of like east of where like the opening is, you can see like kind of like the outside like outskirts of the city, and then also you can see there's kind of like a tuft of trees a little bit kind of like to the northeast a little bit, and like from this tuft of trees you can see this one tree in particular. Again, this is miles off, but one tree in particular seems to grow a good deal taller than the rest of them.
Okay.
And so you're thinking that must be the outcropping that Alan was talking about.
I see a big tree over yonder.
I believe you.
Cool.
That's
Let's go to that tree.
yeah. Might as well.
I'm going to
yeah.
juggle as we travel toward the tree.
What are you juggling?
Well,
Hopefully not the bottles.
No,
right?
my inkling is that's dangerous, so I'm going to juggle normal balls as we head our way toward the tree.
Normal balls. Okay.
Normal bean-filled balls.
You can see your destination in sight, and so you kind of head through kind of like the tall grass and kind of like the rolling plains. And as you get closer, you can see there's kind of like a sudden stand of trees, kind of from where like the deforestation stopped suddenly, because mostly you're kind of going through like old farmland right now. And as you kind of get closer to kind of like the front of where the tree line is, you can see that kind of in front of the tree line. Daniel, you can see it. That like right in front of the tree line, like sitting in front of like there's kind of like a path kind of winding through some of the trees. And to the side of the path, laying down, you can see there's like a really large like white wolf.
Oh, okay.
It's just kind of laying there. But its color kind of makes it stand out from the grass.
Damn.
And then also from the forest kind of behind it. It's laying like right next to a path kind of leading into the woods.
I go, hey, dude, there's like totally a beast in the way of our progression. This is a deal we gotta deal with. We gotta get this thing out of here. And then Daniel puts his fist up and looks at his friends and goes, ready when you are, brosifs.
I don't know what to say to that. I guess I'm ready.
Did it look dangerous?
It's real big. And he keeps his fists up.
Your fists are up the entire 60 yards that we walk.
Yeah, he keeps them up the whole time.
Well, I will follow behind him then.
Yeah, but my hands are down, not up.
I'm gonna juggle. I'm juggling
I just plan on walking forward.
like a normal human or half elf.
Well, I don't see what is this beast that we speak?
It's like a big dog.
A dog.
So,
A
Okay.
dog. You want us to kill a dog?
It's harder than you think.
All right, that's
okay, who's leading? Now that like Daniel kind of points it out, everyone can kind of see it because obviously it stands out pretty well.
sure. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep, because you can
that way.
Okay, because you can see the really big pine tree is like kind of further back in the stand of trees. But obviously it looks like this path in particular obviously leads there. As you begin to kind of come closer, you can see the wolf kind of like perks its head up, and you can see you're close enough where you can see like its ears kind of like point towards you. And you can see like it holds its nose up in the air, sniffs the air, and you can see that it stands up and kind of looks your way at the party coming towards it.
Does it appear threatening at all, or?
Yeah, I was gonna say it doesn't like have a bazooka behind its shadow.
Nope, does not look like there's any bazookas coming out. But as you're getting closer, you can tell that this is a wolf, so this is much bigger like than a normal dog. Who's the first person like in your guys' line? I guess like Eli, are you?
Oh, I mean,
yeah, because Ingus, you were the first one out, but I know like Eli, at least in the caves, was kind of the first guy forward.
Yeah, and
Daniel
Daniel
I'll move forward cautiously, but if Daniel goes past me, I'm not exactly going to chase past him either.
Oh no, Daniel made clear on what position he was. He was the little brother. So if someone was point, then Daniel was right behind him.
Okay, so Eli, you are going to be the point guy.
Yeah.
Eli's already in combat range. It looks like.
Okay, so as you kind of like come like closer to it, you see like the wolf again. It has like its nose up in the air, and it begins to kind of like slowly walk towards you again with its ears kind of perked up.
Yeah, I don't think dogs speak common, but you would happen to know where what was this guy's name? What were we looking for again? Emo.
Emil.
You would happen to know where Emo is? No.
You're asking
so
the wolf?
That's what you get for talking to a dog.
So when you say the name Emo, you can see that the ears kind of like flick forward a little bit more. Eli, it's gonna walk like right up to you, and this thing's shoulder is basically like right at your waist. This is a big wolf.
Oh.
And it comes like right up to you, and as you look at it, you can see that its eyes are all like whited out, like it's got like cataracts.
Oh no.
And it just kind of comes up and it just like starts like sniffing, and it like holds its nose up right up next to your mouth, and it just gives a couple sniffs.
While it's sniffing around the mouth area of Levi, can Daniel hold up the letter that he got to around the same area as Eli's mouth area and be like,
Okay.
yeah, no, we're on the level.
And the nose just kind of like goes over to the letter, gives it a little sniff, and the wolf kind of like backs up a little bit. It raises up, stands on its back legs, and you can see that like its arms begin to like suck into its body, and all the fur on the wolf kind of like sucks into itself, and it begins to shrink down, and the wolf kind of like morphs down into what looks like an old, like, gnomish man with like a wooden stick with like kind of like this long white hair, and you can see he's got like he's got cataracts all over his eyes, and he goes, I thought you smelled like Groms. Did Fiona make her soup for you?
I ate 4 bowls.
If you can call it soup, yes.
You've got a strong stomach to eat 4 bowls of that.
She kept giving them to me.
He does.
Delightful girl, but she's not much of a cook.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
I'm gonna still have the egg shell in the throat.
All right.
Yeah.
Come. We've got a lot to talk about. Grom told me you were coming. Come on, follow me. And you can see he starts like walking back towards and into the woods.
You're the boss man. Daniel follows.
We'll follow Emil.
And Emil begins to walk you through the woods, and he slowly like walks you into this kind of like clearing where there's this enormous black spruce tree, not just any old pine tree.
That's what I wrote down.
It has pines, but and you can see there's kind of like this between like a couple of the roots at the base, you can see there's kind of like this little small door. And he just kind of motions you closer, and we will stop there for next time. So you guys have met up with your contact, and Emil will kind of lead you on to the next phase of initiation. So, congrats, you survived the Smuggler's Caverns.
Thanks so much for joining us on another quest. Be sure to tune in next time to keep up with the continuing adventures of our crew. You can check out the video version of our adventures on YouTube, or you can listen to them as podcasts wherever podcasts are found. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow Heads Must Roll on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Thanks! Is that good?